This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friends and I get together and we gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge. Of course, my friends would text me in the middle of me trying to do my spiel. The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where my phone doesn't go off, and me and Ben and Saturn and Oates watch something and talk over it. And $2 is... Well, now it's our TTRPG tier, which is where we play, well, we're currently playing Sentinels of the Multiverse in an original game that is super fun and very cool that we're calling Reboot. It also gets you the entire back catalog of any bonus content we have ever done that is not Takeout. So, yeah, it's quite the bargain, if I say so myself. That's patreon.com/thegorge. And if you're feeling exceptionally generous and you want to give $10 a month, you get exclusive pictures of podcast mascot Peanut, aka my extremely sad looking pit bull that I love. So there you go. It also gets you all that other shit too. So.
Yeah.
But the pictures of Peanut are the most important part.
They are the most important. Our movie tier, we did a Brick most recently.
Yes.
That movie is good as fuck.
I'm so glad.
Might even be just like on the list of like my favorite movies ever, like immediately. Like that was a genuine joy. And you can listen to us like talk over it, except for the parts where we don't, because we're just too busy paying attention to the movie to make jokes.
So good.
Yeah.
Sometimes we discover that we discover that like picking a good movie for Takeout is a mistake, because then we can't talk over it. We just kind of sit there for a little while and go like,
You need to, for good movies, you need to pick a good 7.
You need to pick a good movie that all of us have seen. I feel like that should be the rule. Although the problem is that like,
then we never would have watched Brick, and
and you want the joy of discovery for at least one person,
exactly.
Right? And honestly, if you're listening to this and you're like, "Well, I want to give you guys money, but I don't care about the movie commentary," that's fine. You can go watch Brick by yourself. I won't be mad.
It's a great movie. It's Rian Johnson's first movie. So please go watch it, even without our commentary. That movie kicks ass. Ben, what are we doing tonight?
Before we say what we're doing tonight, just one more thing is that this month. We're watching the worst movie I've ever seen, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yes, if you haven't watched it, but you've maybe seen it on Red Letter Media, we're watching After Last Season for our next Takeout, and I could not be more excited.
Is it a bad time to announce that I'm quitting the podcast for the next 30
No,
to
you don't get to go
days?
free, fucker.
You can't.
Stuck here too.
You can't quit. It's in your contract.
That's right.
Fuck. When did I sign a con? Oh no!
When you joined a group chat with us.
Was this when I got blackout drunk playing buckshot roulette?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
we
fuck.
tricked you.
God damn. All right.
All right.
Whatever.
No, but this week we're just doing a regular old a regular old roundup.
Yeah.
Because we had the Summer of Game Fest.
That's right. So there's a lot of news.
We had Jeff's Revenge.
And it fucking sucked.
It did suck.
It's insane to me, and I did watch some of the Good Boots coverage of the other shows, and they expressed the opinion which I had very elegantly through their ratings, which is it's extremely weird and fucked up that Sony's like, oh, by the way, like 2 days before we're doing this, before all the other shit, just June 4th, get in there, whatever. And they had the best presentation by a country mile.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And then the entire rest of the week was just the most like awful waste of time shit you've ever wasted your life on.
The most mediocre stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Summer Games Fest was really good for the last 7 minutes of it. And it was about 2 hours of long otherwise.
It was 2 hours long. And literally the only thing that truly made my neurons light up at all was the last 7 minutes of it, which is just astonishing.
Much like Char's counterattack in this way.
It also releases Psycho Frames.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours of wondering where you are and whether any of this is worth it, followed by an extremely peak final 7 minutes approximately.
Yeah.
Great.
But before we get to that, we should talk about what we've been doing.
I'll lead since it's a natural thing. I watched the rest of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, word.
So between last week and this week, I finished. So I believe I said last time that I had finished Mobile Suit Gundam and Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Between then and now, I have finished Double Zeta and the movie Char's Counterattack.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Touchdown is an idiot. That movie's pretty bad. However, it's also the best movie of all time. So it's really hard to know where to come.
I think you described it as the Metal Gear Solid 4 of Gundam.
No, that's Gundam Zeta.
No, Gundam Zeta is the Dark Souls 3 of Mobile Suit Gundam. Double Zeta is the Dark Souls 2 of Mobile Suit Gundam, which is weird because Double Zeta comes after Zeta. And then Char's Counterattack is the Metal Gear Solid 4 of Gundam.
Okay. Good to know. Makes sense.
Vacillating. I mean, they're all, honestly, all Gundam that isn't Mobile Suit Gundam is the Metal Gear Solid 4 of Gundam, if we're going on the vacillates wildly between being a 4 and a 12. The reason I compare it to that specifically, though, is because it's a thing that works very well as, like, the kind of bleak thematic capstone to Mobile Suit Gundam, and, like, the thing that ties... This is the ultimate answer to all the questions that we've asked thematically over the course of the show, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it works very well in that regard. But as a movie, it's really bad.
Fair. Totally fair.
I can see why it drove people insane. I can see why it's, like, one of the main things that's in the milieu of, like, making Evangelion, and then very specifically making End of Evangelion. It is a very End of Evangelion core-ass movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except, like, that half the characters in it are people you've literally never met before.
I see.
Rip.
What if the End of Evangelion took place, like, 5 years after the end of the anime? Like, chronologically, and, like, certain characters just weren't there anymore, and they didn't bother to tell you why.
Cool. Sounds great, Saturn.
Sounds like a real winner.
I'm glad nobody is asking me to watch Gundam.
I don't know. Even having watched all the series, I don't know why they did it that way. Because you'd think, like, there's a degree to which, like, I think you could watch the Mobile Suit Gundam compilation movies and literally skip immediately to Char's Counterattack and miss very little.
Cool.
Which is strange, because Zeta is where you get the most characterization for Char.
Yeah.
And, like, it's the thing that makes that, like, really, like, it... Having Mobile Suit Gundam, then Zeta, then Char's Counterattack, like, the growth and change of that character is the thing that makes him the, like, one of the GOATs of all time. I adore him. I understand why people are insane about him now. I'm insane about him.
Yeah, no, we know.
Yeah.
But also nothing that basically nothing that happens in Zeta or Double Zeta, which is about 100 episodes of anime, nothing that happens in it plot-wise matters or really comes up hardly at all.
That's insane to give a character this much, like, character growth and depth in these other series, and then have the movie that's like, but it doesn't matter.
You don't need to worry about any of that shit. Yeah.
Never mind all that.
It's like if you had a trilogy. Well, I guess I'll think about it as a four-parter, right?
Right.
It would be like if you started, if you had the growth from Big Boss from being Naked Snake in Metal Gear Solid 3 to eventually being Big Boss at Outer Heaven in Metal Gear 1. But you released those games in the chronological order that they came out, and then also, like, nothing that happened in Peace Walker or Ground Zeroes. Like someone mentioned it once, but none of it was actually relevant to the content of Metal Gear 1 at all.
Right, okay.
They made it like that on purpose for some reason. I don't know why.
Crazy.
That's so funny.
That's really it. I don't know. I played some video games. I don't really have much to say about them. I played some Next Fest demos. Some of them were pretty good. Silly Poly Beast was okay.
That was a standout, yeah.
I like that one. The Morsels demo was a lot of fun and really gorgeous and had some great music. I have more demos to play, honestly, but I don't know if I'm going to save them for, like, doing on stream next week, or if I'll just play them on my own time. We'll find out. That's really me.
Cool. The only thing I really have to report is that I am so close to beating Expedition 33. I am unfortunately faced with what they call the final boss jitters, where I am just like, I have done a lot of side content now.
You don't want to leave the theme park.
Yeah, I don't want to leave the theme park. I have done so much side content now that I feel like I'm going to trivialize this last fight.
What level are you?
65.
I went in at 72.
Uh-huh.
And I beat the final boss in about 2 rounds, and I could have done 1 round if I, like, committed to it.
I see. Okay. Oh, this could be bad. Yeah, because there's still a few things I want to do. There's a absolutely insufferable bonus dungeon called the Crimson Forest that I was putzing around in, and I hated it. Oof. But I want to go do it. There's another chromatic enemy in another, like, high level dungeon that I need to go tackle. I need to go find that dungeon again. There's so many fucking things on this map. Mm-hmm. There's just some cleanup. I tried to fight the big flying monster in the sky, and that dog don't hunt, so no. I need to figure out what the strat for beating. So the thing with the flying thing in the sky, if you haven't fought it, Ben, is that every turn it eats all your AP at the beginning of the turn, and then puts a shit ton of shields on itself.
Oh, so you need to equip Mael with the barrier breaker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, you know, and unfortunately, like, I know that Mael is the extremely broken character in Expedition 33, but I am having so much fun rolling with a CL, Verso, and Monaco team. Like, yeah, it's so much fun.
I don't know if I was just doing it wrong, but, like, CL was my damage dealer. Like, yeah, Mael had some great attacks to do, you know, you could do like some quick setup with her to get her, like, doing some heavy damage, and she has a lot of versatility, but, like, man, CL was hitting like a truck.
The thing is, a lot of people's, like, high damage Mael comps are from getting a weapon that you can miss permanently. If you have to do the Colosseum with Mael and get her weapon that starts her in Virtuous Stance. And then they're doing that, plus she has a late game attack called Stendhal.
And Stendhal's really good.
Stendhal is really good. So they're comboing those two things to have Mael do absurd damage on turn 1, right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I didn't get that weapon. So I've been having a lot of fun with CL and how easy it is. And one, the fact that her attack that it lets her do an absurd amount of damage in the next turn, which is great because it's a gradient attack, so you get 2 attacks in a row.
Yeah.
She has an attack called Shadowbringer, which one is a very funny reference. 2, already does a lot of damage on its own. It does 10 hits of high damage, and 3 puts 10 to 20 stacks of, like, the thing that, like, supercharges her damage.
Yeah.
Right? So already the gradient attack does a lot of damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she immediately gets to go again and attack something that has 10 to 20 stacks of her big damage thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Disgusting. I was fighting Sprong because I really wanted that cheater Picto. I got that cheater Picto. And on some turns I had it tweaked to where she was doing 150,000 damage. And just carving. And this is an enemy with, like, an absurd amount of HP, right?
Yeah.
And just watching that attack just carve, like, bloody swaths of HP off that bar, and you're just like,
it's so satisfying.
I love it here. So no, I don't want to get off the ride, and I don't want to get off of Mr. Bones' wild ride. I'm having a lot of fun fighting monsters, and I'm looking forward to turning the final boss into a joke, so...
Have you done everyone's social quest yet?
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mael's should have been in the store. Should have been just mandatory.
It should have been mandatory, but it's really funny to make it like optional. I think it's funny to make it optional content. They're good. Fucking surprising nobody. Expedition 33 continues to be really good. You know, that game that everybody is saying is probably game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shocker. I know. So
I heard that game's good.
That game's good. Yeah.
People are saying the game is good.
The best thing that ever happened to Expedition 33 is the fact that GTA 6 got pushed to next year. So now it's like, oh, well, I know whose music we're going to be hearing at the Game Awards in December.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
It's just a good game. Like I think the plot is fine. I think it's really interesting and very good. It's well written and it's very like mysterious. It has that incredible Nier aura.
Yeah.
But it really has like really great character writing and probably just the most addicting fucking battle system I've ever seen in a turn-based RPG. It's just great.
Like my big takeaway from that from this game is I can't wait to play their next game.
Yeah, I can't wait for Elden Ring when I finally have time to fucking play Elden Ring because now I feel like something evil has unlocked in me.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, that's
what's
next.
I have downloaded Elden Ring. I haven't started it up yet, but maybe later in this week.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish Expedition 33 first, which I'll probably do this week.
What I will say, the nice part of our various scheming and like the stuff we've talked about with doing seamless co-op is seamless co-op is extremely easy to install. But B, it is also, if you decide you don't want to go through the game like that, you just don't you don't have to like uninstall anything or it literally just like you just go launch the game normal style, thank you, and you can just do a different
that's nice.
save.
Cool.
Like the saves aren't compatible, but like you don't have to like.
Okay, well that's still fine.
That's still fine.
They've said there are ways that you can convert the save, but it's like you will definitely get banned from the online servers if you do it because there's stuff in it that is obviously like not legitimate.
Sure.
But it's like, you know, that'll be fun whenever we make time for it.
I'm really looking forward to more to having Elden Ring probably unlock something in me.
2025 is going to be the year of parry swap.
I love parry
Correct.
swap. Love parrying. Love a good parry, folks. I don't really have anything else noteworthy to talk about. I started season 2 of Righteous Gemstones. That show's still good. That show's still a lot of fun. Shocking no one. I didn't think, because it's like I said last season, like that, if you only watch the first season, it's like a good little concise story. And I was like, I wonder if season 2 is any good. Yeah, it turns out it actually is really good.
Good.
Danny McBride has incredible taste in music, though. The guy who like directs and runs the show, like all the music they pick in that show is it's banger after banger. It's so good. Yeah, that's kind of all I got though. Yeah. Do I have anything else of note to talk about? No, I really have just been trying to actually finally finish Expedition 33. Yeah, that's kind of it. Okay.
I have a couple things too. I started and finished chapters 3 and 4 of Deltarune.
Okay. What you think?
They're really, really fucking good.
Yeah, that's right. That's gotta be played at some point.
If Expedition 33 didn't exist, this would be a contender for my game of the year.
Sure.
It's gonna be on the list for sure. Like, I need to go back and replay 1 and 2 now because I realized I did not beat Jevil in this current playthrough. I beat Spamton, but I did not beat Jevil, so I need to go back and do that.
Okay.
Because it's starting to accumulate.
Yeah.
The need to unlock the secrets is starting to really build up to something.
It's starting to snowball. Yeah. Okay.
And I need to catch it now before I'm in like chapter 7 and like, oh shit, I got to replay the entire game now. The new gimmick character, like the Spamton equivalent in chapter 3, is hilarious. I don't know if you've seen any of Tenna's shenanigans on BlueSky or anything.
Nope, I've actually managed to avoid a lot of spoilers.
Oh, congrats.
I know, I really don't know what happens in Deltarune 3 and 4 yet, which is incredible because it's been a week.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, sorry. There are animals out there.
I had gotten a YouTube video to final boss of chapter 4 no damage run on my my dashboard on YouTube. Within like 6 hours of the game releasing.
I don't know what I've done to my internet algorithm to like let me avoid everything, but I'm really happy for it. Like people, ironically, like people have been talking a lot about like annoying people on BlueSky, and I'm like, my BlueSky is totally fine.
Yeah, mine is
like my BlueSky
content.
is mostly just pictures of Xenosia Galvus. So
mine has mostly been okay, but I somehow, and I don't know how this happened, I follow like maybe the only existing trans girl who is into anime and things of that nature who just does not seem to know that Rot 13 exists.
Oof.
And it's like Christ a lot. And I'm not going to unfollow this person.
Right.
Because
No,
I like
not.
them and like I have productive conversations with them about other things. But also like come the fuck on.
You just want to like yell at them and just like, listen.
This is the exact reason why I was like, I'm just not touching them anymore until 7 comes out, and then I'll just go into a fugue state for like 2 weeks where I play all 7 chapters of Deltarune in order, and then probably play them again a second time afterward.
Right. The thing I want to do though, this is making me want to do though, is I would love to do a live reading of Deltarune when the full game is out.
Yeah, in 5 years.
No, I mean, minor spoilers, but Chapter 4 ends with to be continued in 2026.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I think now that Toby has like the foundation laid, like they'll come out a little bit quicker than once every 3 years.
We'll see.
God hoping.
I would love that, but I don't know. We'll fucking see.
Isn't it crazy to think though that Deltarune came out 3 years after Undertale?
What the fuck? No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Shit, screw you. No.
It was October 2018. I remember this because every time I remember it, I feel really, 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 really old.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
No, that's absurd.
Doesn't it feel like a generation passed between Undertale and Deltarune?
Well, yeah, because it's been after Deltarune Part 1 came out in 2018, then Part 2 didn't come out until like 2-3 years later, and then Part 3 and 4 only just came out now. Undertale is fucking 10 years old.
Yeah, no. Okay, one, Undertale is 10 years old this year, which makes me want to... And 2, yeah, I think it's a little absurd. I think they probably should have waited to put out Undertale. Or, excuse me, Deltarune. Fucking anagram-ass names.
Yeah. I
think, God love him, because I know that, like, OG first chapter of Deltarune was just like I'm gonna put a thing out to, to test the temperature and see if anybody's interested in this weird idea I've got, right? And I understand that, right? You put something out 3 years after, like, the game that makes you a millionaire, and you're just kind of like, we'll see if people like this, right?
Yeah.
And then I think you should have just bit the bullet and said, see you in 8 years, right?
Maybe.
Like, I think maybe this weird chapter release system probably isn't a great idea, but we'll see.
I think it's dramatically funny that a guy who spent a certain amount of time in his life as an adult living in Andrew Hussey's basement has compromised an artistic project by committing it to being way longer than it probably needs to be.
Yeah. Sins of the father, as they say.
Granted,
that's a great episode title. Let's put that with an album art of just a Homestuck screenshot.
It should be the picture. It should be the picture of Andrew Hussey holding that dummy.
No, it should. It should be. I'll have to find it. It should just be the album art for The Baby Is You.
God. Now, to be fair, Toby Fox has one advantage over Andrew Hussey in the terms of making something too long.
Is that he knows how to write?
Well, that, and he knows how to end it. He knows what the ending is going to be. Because I don't know if you know what the origin of Deltarune is, the origin of Undertale is, too.
It was like a thing he wrote after he wrote Deltarune.
Yeah, he had a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And that dream was the ending of Deltarune.
That's so funny.
And then he made Undertale first.
as like a practice video game.
Yeah.
No,
Whoops, looks like video games have been changed forever.
No, the problem is that's psychotic because here's the thing. Even if Andrew Hussey didn't know how he was getting there, I know, like, with certainty in my heart that the resolution of Homestuck is the first thing he thought about Homestuck. And everything there was him just trying to figure out, well, how the fuck do I get there?
Right.
And I'm confident in this.
Tons of spinning your wheels. It
would have been very hard to get to that point because it started off for like the first year as being actually fan submitted.
Yeah, and I think that what it's really illustrating to me is I think that there might not be a worse way to write a story than to have an ending moment and work your way there. And my source is that I have been writing a story for about 2 years where the thing I knew first was the ending of the story.
Yeah.
And like the entire process of writing the story has been agony and misery.
Now, Saturn, no offense to you, my very good friend Saturn, you're not Toby Fox.
Toby Fox isn't even Toby Fox right now. I'm sorry. Undertale's Kickstarter was announced, and that game came out like, 2 years after its Kickstarter or something like that? And then they actually had a video game out. I'm just saying, I don't think any video game ever has benefited from the chapter release system. And I'm even including fucking, like, Of the Devil in that. Like, God love them, I just think after a certain point, you should put the whole video game out, right? Like, after you put the first 2 out, then you go, okay, here's the rest of the video game, even if it takes 3 years. I understand that some companies, like the Of the Devil guys, are using chapter releases to fund the additional chapters.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think this is an idea that Valve floated. Well, not Valve. Sin was the first like episodic video game release, right? And
it's either that or it's
either,
oh my god, what's it called? One of the Xeno things.
The Xenogears games.
Xenosaga.
Xenosaga, yes, because that was supposed to be. Oh, also Shenmue.
And Shenmue, yeah, no. And like, I think there's like a difference between chapter releases and sequels. Like the distinction is so narrow, but it's kind of there. I'm thinking of like Half-Life, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2, Episode 3, how it never came out, right? Like, I can't think of a single video game that has ever truly benefited from this episodic release structure. So I don't know. I think he probably should have. I think he should have just put out chapter 1 and then.
I would say the Telltale games probably benefited from it because they got to actually use that audience input.
Yeah, but then they stopped existing.
Well, that's the thing that because it is like you're right with Of the Devil. I do think they should, and I know there's like practical reasons why they can't.
Yeah, totally.
But there's totally a thing where like my big worry for that game, and those people are my friends. I love them dearly. But the thing that scares me most about that game is knowing that Brian has already written most of that game's script, or all that game's basic script, which means that even though the game is going to be coming out episodically, there is a limit to the degree which he can respond to people's interaction with the game.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if he say, I don't know, if there's a specific weakness of an element of the writing that he is dependent on in all those chapters, and then he's putting these out every year or two and unable to change them because he committed to his episodic release structure instead, that's not great.
No.
that worries me significantly.
Yeah. Or just the structure of the episodic release thing, right? What if your company, God forbid, again, I hate to keep using Of the Devil as an example, but I'm going to. God forbid the company goes out of business and suddenly you've got an unfinished Of the Devil.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. I mean, Valve didn't go out of business, but Valve did lose their fucking minds. And now we don't have an ending to Half-Life 2. Right? Anything could happen. Fucking Berserk guy, Miura, died. Right? anything can fucking happen with your episodic story. I'm just telling. I mean, we're never gonna get the end of A Song of Ice and Fire. It don't exist. Okay, George is just never gonna finish it. I just think if you make the first thing of your video game, you put it out as your little demo, and everybody is very, very enthusiastic about it, I think you should just put the rest of it out after that, right? Because
start a Patreon and drum up people funding you another way. Like, God forbid. His ass would have been able to go like, hey, I'm making a Patreon to fund the development of Deltarune, and people would be giving him like $25,000 a month.
Also, he makes like a shit zillion dollars a month off of Fangamer. So,
yeah.
I don't think it's a great idea. That's my hot take. I really like Deltarune. I like those games. I do. I love Toby Fox. I'd probably take a bullet for him. But I just think it's a bad idea. That way lies madness and waiting too long. It's the same fucking problem as the Final Fantasy VII remake. It's gonna take too goddamn long to get the whole story. Like,
it was a fool's errand to do the Final Fantasy VII remake and not have it be one video game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at the very least 2 video games. Again, you make the FF7 remake, part 1, set it all in Midgar, okay? Like, sure, let that be the same, because it's your little proof of concept that you're going to remake FF7 and you want to see if people actually want it. Of course people want it, but but then after it's sold a bajillion fucking copies, you make the rest of it. And that's it, right? It should have really only been the 2 video games. I just don't think it's a good idea.
Well, now isn't it going to be the rest of the game for him? I think it's only going to be the next like chapters 5, 6, and 7 are going to be one set.
Has he said that?
I think he did.
I don't remember hearing him say that.
Because the original plan was one. He was originally going to do them in sets of 2, but then he's like, well, no, I can just do them all. Once 4 and 5 come out, I can do, or 3 and 4 come out, I can do the rest of the game.
I don't remember that at all, but I'll choose to believe you for purposes of our podcast.
I hope that whatever comes next is the rest of the game. I hope that in 2026 he puts out, 5, 6, and 7, and we're done. I think that'd be great. What was that weird noise? Whatever. I think that would be great, because otherwise we're going to be here a long time.
I have come away from Deltarune's chapter 3 and 4, by the way, with the new knowledge in that Deltarune is the DS9 to Undertale's next generation.
I'll believe that when I finish
I'll believe that when that game's done.
Yeah. That game's not done yet.
In that, wow, the first one was groundbreaking entry into this genre, and it is what you think of when you think of this genre of video game.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is better. Second one is way better.
I believe you right now. When it's done, we'll see. But I super believe you right now. I mean, yeah, I like Deltarune. I like Deltarune.
It's hard because I know objectively whenever Deltarune is fully out and I have to play through all 7 chapters of Deltarune all at once.
Sorry.
Realistically, for a good comparison, I would have to replay Undertale again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't... I feel like, though, I have to commit to the bit that I committed myself to, and I cannot, in fact, ever replay it.
Well, you do what I do.
What's that?
You buy it on another platform.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Oh, God. What cruel God would I be?
That's the thing.
To spin into existence yet another copy of the exact universe to make them suffer in the exact same way.
You just buy it on the Switch so you can play that new boss fight.
I would. Well, I guess I technically do own a Switch still, but I'm trying to not at some point.
I know, but I'm just saying.
If you're listening to this and you want a Switch one, I have the Splatoon 3 OLED model. Get in my DMs on Discord. We'll talk.
Fancy.
Yeah. I do want to replay Undertale at some point, but I don't have. No, I own a Switch. I was about to be like, I don't. Yeah, because I also don't want to start my old like PC save back up. But I do own a Switch. I don't own my PlayStation anymore, which is what my other save was on, and I never finished that save. So yeah, I should play it on my Switch at some point. That game is still good. But
it's incredibly good 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Everyone.
How long do you think it took you?
6 to 9 hours.
All right, that's
for both chapters.
Sure.
And that's I didn't get the bonus bosses for either of them, so
right.
I have to go and do the side quests associated with unlocking that. And there's town walking segments in between them that you can go and see funny Toby Fox dialogue.
Yeah, you can go mosey some more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that plus 6 to 9 hours plus the 2 to 4 it takes to do chapters 1 and 2. That's not bad. That's respectable. And then we'll hopefully get another 6-ish. I know 3 and 4 are supposed to be the longest part of the game. I think I've heard that before, that 3 and 4 are like the longest chunk, and then 5, 6, and 7 are going to be not as short as 1 and 2, but a bit more pared down. So yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll be a 20. How much does it cost now? $25?
I think $20.
Okay, that's not so bad.
No,
that's respectable.
It's a good price.
Yeah, totally. Well, I will get to it soon. I do want to play it, but I have got to finish fucking.
Yeah, you got to finish.
I've got to finish. Yeah, Expedition 33. I've got to.
Yeah.
Sorry, and like right there, I can't ignore it anymore.
What else did I do? I started a new playthrough of 358 over 2 days because I'm sick of not having anything Kingdom Hearts related.
Sorry,
man.
I'm drowning over here. I'm starving.
Wilting.
I can't have anything good.
Sorry,
I had to dig up my 3DS.
Like
I can't have anything good, says man who played Expedition 33 and Deltarune 3 and 4 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but neither of those games have Mickey Mouse in them.
I mean, skill issue. I'm sure you can mod Mickey Mouse in the Deltarune pretty easily.
Like, probably pretty easily.
I bet you can find a way.
Nexus mod that just replaces Ralsei with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, totally.
That's the thing I've missed the most about Deltarune, by the way, is just the relationship between Susie and Ralsei.
Oh, sure. Totally.
Susie continues to be one of the best video game characters probably ever.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
They should have put Susie in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
What they should have done, based on what happens in chapters 3 and 4, by the way, is they should have just put Susie as an assist trophy in Smash, and all she does is just kind of like go around and bump her character model into other players, and just be a general nuisance to everyone.
Can we put Susie in Mario Kart World with the lore that this is Bowser's new nearly adopted daughter?
Yeah.
He presents a loving family home, so he's able to take her home from one of those where teens live when they don't have parents, but they're still teens. I forget what they call that. Not foster, but it's like something else.
Homes for troubled youth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now she's an honorary Bowser.
Yeah. Bowser Jr. gets a big sister, and she's the worst influence ever. I love that idea.
I got you a car for your 16th birthday, and Susie looks and it's the fucking floating clown mobile, and she's just like, "Fuck yes!"
And she immediately crashes it. Can I spoil one minor joke in Deltarune, Chapter 3?
Sure.
Because it's one of the best gags in for Susie is that. You get suckered into playing a rock band pastiche, and it's Susie on drums, Chris on guitar, and Ralsei on vocals. And you do a tutorial to get yourself used to the rhythm mechanics of it. And Susie immediately does a drum solo and fails.
That tracks.
Cool.
So her side of like her bar in like the player bars is just red the entire time. It's great. But yeah, no, I've been playing a bit of Days, and it's so weird to hold a 3DS, to hold a handheld.
Yeah, remember handhelds?
Remember when portable systems were handheld?
Remember when wasn't your phone? It was like a thing with buttons on it.
It was like a real thing with buttons on it, and it wasn't like a weird laptop, basically.
Yeah.
Like
my
what a
insane
Switch.
suggestion
Oh yeah.
is that the Switch 2 should have been exactly the Switch 2 with all specs of the Switch 2. It should have been the size and no bigger of a PlayStation Vita.
Understandable, the best handheld console ever made. Yeah, I know.
Yes, and the maximum size allowable for a handheld to be comfortably handheld.
And so I want it to have a clamshell. I want it to close.
Yeah.
Because then it would be like the Game Boy Advance SP, the most pog portable console ever made.
Exactly.
Because it's like a clamshell.
You can fit that shit in your back pocket. That's the metric upon which all handhelds have been judged. And brother, they've all been failing lately. You know,
that's because they don't exist.
They don't exist.
Everything's been too big since like the American cultural hegemony came to like technology.
You can't put a Switch 2 in your back pocket. I mean, maybe men can.
No, it doesn't fit there. You would bend that thing immediately.
Maybe if you're wearing fucking like Kevin Smith Jordan.
Yeah, you gotta
wearing the JNCOs, the big ones.
The Jinko jeans.
Yeah, the thing is we phased out giant cargo pants before the Switch 2. Before we needed them. We didn't need the space for a DS. A 3DS can fit in your pocket. It's easy. We need it for the Switch. You can't be carrying that thing in a backpack.
I know. I'm sorry.
I booted up with the 3DS and I was immediately received Persona music because I forgot I had downloaded the Persona Q like theme for your menu.
Oh, just clobbered in the face.
Remember when like consoles had like themes you could download?
My PS4 before I sold it had an Undertale theme and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like you used to be able to do that.
Used to be able to do that. Now they use the themes, just the theme. They use your UI to sell you bad ads, and it's like, oh, okay.
It's like, great, you guys don't make enough money off me off the fact that you like charge me like $60 to $80 a year to use
online.
basic online. Like, there's a reason that's like the big reason I stopped being a console player completely. It's just like, why would I ever fucking put up with them charging me rent to use online and still serving me ads when it's like, I can just play things on Steam?
Yep.
And if I see an ad on Steam, it's because I opened the store page to look at things I want to buy. So of course I'm going to see an ad there.
Yeah. I can't believe they put a Kingdom Hearts game on a DS. That's insane in hindsight.
Yeah, they put two. No, they put that.
They put one on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, but that was like a sprite-based like 2D thing.
It wasn't like a true Kingdom Hearts game. It was like a deck builder type thing.
Yeah,
right?
this is like trying to be a 3D platformer on the DS.
Yeah.
They also put Xenoblade 1 on the 3DS, as I recall.
No, we're talking about the regular DS.
Yeah.
Oh, the regular.
Days was on the regular DS.
Yeah, like the OG.
That seems ill-advised.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
How's that run, Ben?
About as good as a DS game can run.
So are we talking like 15 frames per second? Or
they certainly knew their limitations when making it. I'll give them that much. But like
one enemy on a screen at the time.
Like,
right?
yeah, 2 or 3 at a time. And they had to do some finagling with the buttons to make the navigation of the menu possible.
Sure.
Because remember, the DS did not have an analog stick.
No, it did not. It only had a D-pad.
You have to use the shoulder buttons to cycle through your menu instead of the D-pad.
I said, seems ill-advised.
What's the touch screen for then?
Mostly for your map and for a little bit of like navigating some menu stuff, but not a whole lot because
you would think they just put that shit on.
Well, if
the touch screen.
Well, because most people are right-handed, which means in order to use the touch screen, you have to take your hands off the buttons, like the button side of the handheld.
Yeah.
So like if you're trying to quick select your items, your menu stuff, you have to take your hand off the thing you're probably using to attack.
This is why the DS was the perfect machine for turn-based RPGs.
Yeah.
And nothing else. And Phoenix Wright video games.
Which is what Coded did.
Yeah.
Coded had a lot of... It did have some sort of platforming action RPG, but it mostly was built off of mini games. And one of them in Olympus Coliseum and Coded was just a turn-based RPG. Like that, and your party members were Sora, Cloud, and Hercules.
Okay.
And you just did a small JRPG. And they should have probably just done that for days, or at least done a more enhanced card system in Chain of Memories on the DS, but they didn't. I don't know. It's got a very good story. Days probably has one of the best stories in the franchise.
Sure.
But I don't know. It could play better.
Yeah.
I gotta finish my streaming of Birth by Sleep so that I can play Dream Drop Distance, which is a game that I think actually plays really well.
Yeah.
And made good use of being on the 3DS.
Sure.
I like Birth by Sleep, but I also don't really like playing it.
You know.
You take what you can get.
It was also a handheld game. It was on the PSP.
I want to go from being magnetized to the floor to having free flow.
Yeah.
That shit ruled in Dream Drop Distance.
You only get so much with the PSP game. I played Crisis Core. I do know.
You can't even jump in Crisis Core, can you?
No, you can't do shit in Crisis Core. That game is ugly, and I honestly still prefer the way it looks over its a frankly hideous.
For sure, over the remake. Yeah.
Oh my god, the remake looks so bad. I can't put my finger on why. It looks so plastic.
It's just because it didn't
have the same money that the
remake did. Yeah,
the remake did. It literally. It's the most bizarre. Saturn, I don't know if you know this about the Crisis Core remake, but it is a shot-for-shot remake of Crisis Core. As in, they basically took the same models and they just slapped like a next-gen coat of paint on it. And it is hideous. I can't.
Minecraft HP texture pack?
HP texture pack, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Uh-huh. It's heinous. It's not good. It's no es bueno, kids.
No, it's not. And then obviously I'm watching more Deep Space Nine. I'm in season 5 now.
Yay! Good show.
Season 5 is so far it is a waveform of some of the most grounded, dramatic television ever.
That's right.
And the wackiest TNG episodes could never.
Correct. Goofy ass horseshit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Getting a mix of both of Empoisoned episodes and Swumble's Big Jumble episodes.
There's the episode where Cisco and the gang have to hold out in a crashed fighter ship to keep the other aliens from getting it.
Yep, that's a good one.
Well, while someone bleeds out slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately followed by Quark's Klingon ex-wife is back.
That's a great episode. I love Quark's Klingon ex-wife. I'm really sad that's the last time you see her.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What?
Grilka doesn't come back. I know. It sucks.
That Deep Space, it's the sin of Deep Space Nine, such as, again, I think we mentioned on podcast, the episode where Thomas Riker is there.
And he never comes
Don't
back?
worry, Thomas Riker, we'll get you. This is the last time he is ever mentioned until they get to, whatever the cartoon show is, where since they don't have to use real actors, they can just reference whatever the fuck they want.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Really? That's strange that Grilka doesn't show up, because she's not like a one and done single episode love interest. She didn't seem to leave the station.
No, yeah, she's done. Sorry.
Well, I guess it's just she was there for an episode in season 3 or whatever. shows back up for season 5, realistically, by the time you'd get to her again, the show has ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
And so they were just kind of like, well, we'll bring back Quark's ex-wife for one more episode. But I mean, like, yeah, and I mean, I'm super happy that Quark gets to mac on his super awesome Klingon ex-wife again.
Yeah.
But I shan't say anything. But the resolution of that episode is the most important part.
Yes.
Because the actual romance subplot of that episode is so much more important.
Yeah.
And kicks ass. I didn't like it at first.
I'm gonna say
it's so
something.
Good.
I'm gonna say something about it, and I hope this doesn't spoil anything for Saturn. But that felt like a Fire Emblem bond happened.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Like that's when I like this the vibe of this conclusion feels familiar, and I'm like, yeah, this is just like what happens when two characters get married in Fire Emblem. It's
Cisco taking his two little characters and being like, I think you two should hook up instead. You know what I mean? It's like that. Great.
Yeah.
I put you two next to each other on the battlefield, so I need you to be buffed when you're in proximity. It's the only way.
Like, because there was definitely some lead up to it.
Sure.
You know, and there was episodes about these two characters being together and whatnot. But it just took the extra push to actually make it solid.
Yeah, it rules.
These two got to each other before they got to someone else.
That's correct. Yeah. It's so good.
It's good.
Please continue to enjoy Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the really good one.
I've saw what the next episode in line is for me.
What's the next one in line?
It involves time travel.
What's the name of the episode?
Trials and Tribulations.
Yes! Oh my god, fuck yes, one of the best ones. Probably top 10 Deep Space Nine episode.
When we're done recording, I might just watch it.
Please, and then message me, because it is it is so good.
I will.
It is so good. I have also been making my way through Voyager. That show's also good as fuck. I mean, not in the same way as Deep Space Nine is good, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cat, quit it. Stop trying to eat me just because Oates isn't home. That show is also really good. Janeway continues to be the highlight. However, 7 of 9 is very good. I will say, I see why this show got a huge ratings boost after 7 joins, because it was really missing something without her, which is funny because 7 and Tuvok occupy 7, Tuvok, and the Doctor. I know that's a weird thing to say to Saturn, but Tuvok and the Doctor are kind of like if you stabbed 7 with the Yamato. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Like, extremely logical, very smart, but also kind of has no social graces whatsoever. Like, Tuvok is the logical and the smart. The Doctor is the smart and the no social graces. You put them together and somehow you get Jerry Ryan in a catsuit? I don't know. But she's such a fun addition.
The way you describe it is just making me imagine you putting Tuvok and the Doctor together. Not the way Tuvix happened, but as like Shin Megami Tensei Devil Fusion.
And out pops 7 of 9. You're just like, what the fuck? Okay.
Putting them in the Persona 5 guillotine.
Yeah, no, it's like the reverse of how if you keep ascending all the different angels, she eventually, gets on HRT and becomes Principality. It's like that.
Yeah.
But in reverse. Yeah, no, but it's good. The show definitely was absolutely missing something without 7 of 9, and now it feels more like the bones of the show have settled, right? And now it all makes sense. And it is very good. I don't think it's as good as Deep Space Nine, but I like it a lot. And of course, Janeway continues to be the best character in Star Trek.
I think, Sarah, if you have room in your heart to both like Deep Space Nine, which is a show that is good, and then like Voyager, which is a show that is good but less often, and are accepting of the fact that sometimes the shows are vacillate wildly.
Is this about to be a pitch that Sarah should watch Gundam?
I think that maybe. Look, I'm still thinking that the play is to do the Mobile Suit Gundam compilation movies after Galactic Sunday.
Right.
I think that it would be a fun. Sarah needs to sit down and watch a show Diversion to go through Zeta and Double Zeta.
I knew that's where it was going.
The thing is, watching Deep Space Nine for me is, again, feeling the comfort of watching a show that's allowed to have bad episodes.
Yes.
And I feel like I can appreciate Gundam for that as well.
Yeah,
that's fair. Because this is I also remember this. It's a show from the era where you could get 50 episodes to make an anime about whatever the fuck, and like it was fine. Like fucking G-Quux is like really good, and its main limiting factor is it has 12 episodes. You can't even get a full 24 to a Gundam series anymore.
Oh, it's so fucked up.
That's embarrassing.
It's so fucked up. I found I posted it and I'll post it in our group chat as well, but in the Big Gay Nerds chat for like cast members, we have a channel called Miscellaneous Aesthetics. And it's just anything we think looks cool that can be kind of vaguely inspirational for D&D stuff, right? I posted this cool YouTube channel I found that is just clips of, clips of like mechanical shit from vintage anime, right?
Right.
Like all the really cool stuff. And I love watching it. But a thing I keep noticing in the comments to all of this is they don't make anime like this anymore. And you're right. But not for the reason you think. Because if you look at a release schedule of anime from 15 years ago compared to now and see how much more anime comes out every season, like how much anime we're making every season of anime, you will understand why we can't make anime like this anymore.
There's just not enough people to make all that anime.
There's just not enough people to make all this anime. And it's the same problem that is now affecting G-Quux, right? Like, we can only make little short animes because we gotta make a different series after this. We don't have the time to do a 24 run, or God forbid, 48.
Yeah, 2 seasons.
2 whole seasons of anime.
Or like even before this, you're G-Witch, and you're very clearly, they wrote you with the intention you to be 3 or 4 cores, and they cut you down to 2, because with the way things are, the animation studio was imploding just to keep up with the demand of 2 cores. They ended up short an episode in the first core, I think, because they literally had to give them a buffer to catch up, so that like one of the episodes is just a recap episode.
Yeah, no.
When's the last time you've seen an anime with a recap episode in it?
It's absurd. And, like, that's why, like, modern anime... I was like, no, like, yeah, modern anime could look like this again. Not, like, those beautiful cel-painted colors, of course, because nobody knows how to do that anymore.
And that shit's expensive and difficult.
That shit's expensive and not very efficient, but it's beautiful, of course. But, like, even, like, the lovingly hand-drawn mechanical stuff, like, you do still occasionally get it, but not nearly as often, because, I mean, that shit took forever, right? Like, all of this shit is from OVAs and stuff like that, where they came out, it was 4 episodes that came out every 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they got released on VHS and were just sold direct to the consumer. They weren't even on TV. And, like, I know this is such a huge tangent, but whatever, I'm thinking about it now. And that's what this stupid podcast is about.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, that's why anime doesn't look like that anymore. That's why you don't have these, like, beautifully, lovingly rendered, like boot up sequences anymore. Because there's no time.
Yeah,
why would you do that?
You gotta get to it. You gotta get to the plot.
We gotta make 45 more seasons of anime before the year is up. Have you lost your mind?
I've been watching Galactic Heroes, and
that's an efficiently created show.
Yeah, having watched a lot of Yu Yu Hakusho and just Dragon Ball Z in general recently, being able to finally tell when different animation studios are working on different episodes.
Oh yeah,
just by like how character designs are slightly different. Like you don't even see that anymore in modern anime.
No, not really. Like that was a big thing with Gurren Lagann, right?
Yeah, like nothing is big enough or prestigious enough. Even the prestigious animes like G-Quux or G-Witch. It's like you don't get a different animation studio or a different team handling each episode.
Because that team is busy making another anime.
Yeah.
And it's just so brutal that we live in a world where they're like, all right, guys, it's a Gundam series that's the fan sequel to the original, like, Universal Century Gundam, like a Fan AU thing. From all the people who brought you Neon Genesis Evangelion, one of the most influential anime of all time, we can get 12 episodes.
12 episodes. You let
like,
Hideaki Anno make a fucking Gundam and you gave him 12 episodes?
And like, I'll be real with you, I like that show quite a lot. Its biggest problem, it has way too many ideas that you can actually get everything you want out of that show in 12 episodes. Like, nothing has time to breathe. It makes me so mad. That we can't. One of the most guaranteed, like, this will be a return on its investment shows ever. The show that has an entire line of model kit enthusiasts. It would be like if you couldn't get like a $40 Warhammer game out the gate every year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna buy that shit. They like those ugly fucking their space elves or whatever they got going on over there. Like, fuck, man.
It's sad.
We need to go back. We need the era where TVs could be like, yeah, we have even like for Star Trek, like, yeah, our seasons are 24 episodes a piece and all the episodes are 45 minutes long and we'll do like 7 of them in a season.
Yeah. 7 of them.
I just saw a Tumblr post that has screen caps from the episode of DS9 where Rumpelstiltskin shows up.
That's correct.
And the caption on the gift set was, you don't get TV like this with 8-episode prestigious seasons anymore.
No, you don't.
No.
We used to be a real country.
Yeah.
This too is part of the enshittification of everything. Sorry.
I will say it is funny how you talked about Legend of the Galactic Heroes being a show that's efficiently made. It was jarring to watch the original TV version of Mobile Suit Gundam and occasionally get shots in Mobile Suit Gundam where I'm like, how does this also extremely cheap looking show have like a moment of like character animation where they do like a subtle thing that looks better than most of Legend of the Galactic Heroes? What the fuck is going on?
Describing Galactic Heroes as efficient is generous.
It is extremely efficiently constructed show. They use just enough animation to get the point across and not a single frame more.
I remember it wasn't the last time I visited. It was a time before when we went to that fall festival with your Meat Space friend.
Yes.
And I remember being in the car and describing, it was specifically, I was talking about Legend of Galactic Heroes, and I was describing the way that like a space fight will be like just 2-frame animations of like beams firing, like repeating for 3 seconds. And I remember your friend just describing, like, he was looking at me like, Saturn, that is maybe the driest show I have ever heard anyone describe to me. I don't know why you would watch that on purpose.
Now, see, the problem now is, though, because you've infected me, I have now gone to that same group chat with those same Meat Space friends, like, okay, but I actually think you need to watch Legends of the Galactic Heroes. Here's the link. Here's the link to it on Internet Archive. I know it's very dry and boring, but I need you to actually watch Legends of the Galactic Heroes. I understand now.
Yeah, the problem is that limited animation is that it does not need any higher animation.
No. It's really good is the huge problem.
And then it can drive you insane, and then you can watch all of Mobile Suit Gundam, and then all of Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam,
and then I can become a char girly with you, just like you've always wanted.
Sarah, I need someone to be a char girly with me. Shia doesn't count.
Fine.
Yay!
I'll watch the movie. After we get finished with Galactic Heroes, we should watch the movies.
I think that would be a doing the compilation movies as would be like a fun 3-week detox while we cement what our next thing is going to be.
Yeah,
because Hunter x Hunter is still the front runner, but I still want to leave the door open for other long form anime that would be good project watches. Because Hunter x Hunter would be a good pick in a lot of ways, but there's other options.
There's other options. Yeah. Need to think of other really good options. We've gone off on a tangent. Yeah. I apologize. That's just the nature of the Gorge.
All right. We have some news though.
All right.
Before we get into Summer of Games, we've got a few other articles first.
Okay.
Marathon isn't canceled, but it's bad we have to even ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game has gotten delayed significantly.
Oh really? Say it ain't so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say again, I think it's smart, not just because of the plagiarism of things and the horrible studio morale in that game probably needing a little bit more time in the oven to get some spice added to it. Probably a smart idea to avoid timing your launch to be so close to Arc Raiders, the other Tarkov that people seem to actually think is good.
Yeah. That has a cool, unique aesthetic as well. That doesn't seem to be stolen whole cloth from an actual artist that you didn't pay, right?
Yeah.
I saw a trailer for Arc Raiders and I was like, oh, okay, this is the other Tarkov one. And it also looks cool, but people seem to like it and want it, unlike Marathon. Shocker.
Yeah. Now you may have noticed that there was a distinct lack of Marathon anywhere.
It's really
at
funny.
This show.
They torpedoed that shit.
Yeah, that is because Sony has canceled all marketing for Marathon.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because they were probably expecting all their marketing probably had shit it's out in whenever that game was supposed to be out. It's not out then. It is no longer out then.
It probably had a lot of footage of plagiarized artwork as well.
Yep.
Distinctly likely.
Extremely likely. Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
Next, Princess Peach's voice actor of 18 years confirms she's been replaced.
Yeah, they didn't even tell her.
They 2 days after Mario Kart World came out. She posted on Instagram that they have recasted her. That this was her last game.
Nintendo really just gives me more and more reasons to never need a new Nintendo console. Just one after another. It's okay, well, I don't really want to spend all that money on a Switch 2, and I really don't want to spend $80 to $90 on a video game. Oh, and now I'm cool. Do you know that fucking Charles Martinet can't even do his Mario voices on camera at cons and stuff?
God, that's a
yeah.
Yeah, they won't let him do it. It's part of his contract.
Psychotic.
That's really messed up.
Deeply evil. Yeah, I saw that. I literally saw that today on BlueSky. Somebody was posting from a con they went to where Charles Martinet was there. He'll do it off camera, but he can't. He won't do it while being recorded. So
Nintendo is such an insane company.
They're an insane company. They are psychotically evil. It's really shocking. Yeah.
It is a testament to how badly the other two major gaming companies have screwed this whole pooch, that we live in a world where Nintendo is the most successful primary console publisher despite being this psychotic.
I know, right?
That's a thing that Chris on BlueSky was talking about. Chris of Gigaboot's fame was talking about how the PlayStation 4 did. Yeah, okay, here it is. The PS4 almost did PS2 numbers and had multiple first-party games over 10 million sales, and then Sony blew it all up because they thought they'd somehow have 15 Fortnites. That's how hard you screw the pooch when you have your second most successful console of all time, right? The first one is the PS2, a thing that can never be replicated ever again. But you come super close to that, and you still fuck it up. That's what allows Nintendo to keep doing what they're doing, because that's just how fucking stupid their competition is at this point, right? It's stunning. It's actually really impressive. It's not even killing the golden goose. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
It's like putting the golden goose in a parakeet cage and saying it's your parakeet.
Yes. It's incredible.
they are Nintendo is like, I said it before, they are just the Mr. Krabs of game consoles, of like game companies, where it's like they are a disgusting, greedy, miserly business organization, but they're also the only ones making like legitimate product.
Yeah, they're the only ones putting out like first-party video games.
There's only two restaurants in Bikini Bottom, and one of them is a burger place that makes burgers, and the other one's a weird bucket where there's just a strange guy who keeps trying to steal things and doesn't actually make any food.
Doesn't make any food.
Like, it would be... Yeah. It would be...
That's actually very relevant. Yeah, wait. Hang on. Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
It's like this would be...
Is it too late? Is it too late to, like, Photoshop Phil Spencer to look like Plankton?
Like, it would almost be better if Nintendo was putting out microtransaction slop.
Sure.
Instead of Mario Kart World, which is
easily ignore them. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, by all accounts, the Switch 2 is a fantastic console.
Sure.
I'm annoyed because they announced a fucking Splatoon spin-off with the new Splatoon characters, which might be on news, I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not buying a new Switch model. You can't trick me, but I'm mad that I wish I was trickable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I was listening to the Gigaboots and listening to Supercast Super Beast talk about Mario Kart World, and I'm like, shit, I wish I could be playing that. Like, that sounds like a good game that I would love to be playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the thing I resolved myself is no matter what, I have to hold strong, because in like 2 or 3 years, there's going to be an OLED model for certain, and if I get that console ever, I'm going to feel really dumb if I don't have the version that has an actual decent screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Baffling company.
Moreover, why didn't they make... They made the OLED Switch 1 2-3 years ago. Why did they go like, yeah, no, LED's probably fine for the Switch 2?
I don't know.
Because they're cheap.
Because they're cheap and they want to sell you a more expensive Switch OLED in 2 to 3 years. I can't stand them. I hate them so much. I hate them to death. Again,
like the Mr. Krabs comparison, they also are like Ebenezer Scrooge, in which they are in fact like super greedy and love to hoard wealth and all that. But to their credit, they are not spending it on themselves. They're just not spending it.
They're just not spending it. It's true. It's fucking crazy. What else?
Next, some good news. Titmouse, Casey Green, partner on Anime Club animated series.
What year is it? I think it's so funny.
Is it 2015?
It feels like 2015, yeah.
When did Casey Green put out the Anime Club comic?
A very long time ago.
Long time ago. That was 4chan days.
I have a printed copy of it, and I think I bought from Topodico when Topodico was still like a place you bought things from. To be clear, you still can. I don't know anyone who would.
2011.
Yeah, 4chan days.
14 years. You know what? Wow. To be fair, that is about... Well, actually, no. No, the Scott Pilgrim movie was closer to Scott Pilgrim than that was.
Yeah. Well, Scott Pilgrim movie came out before the final book came out.
Yes.
It did?
That's why it had a different ending.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe they Full Metal Alchemisted Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim got Full Metal Alchemisted. Yeah. So good.
When did the Eltingville pilot come out?
That
was 2002, so the comics would have been in the early 90s then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is an even broader scope than the Eltingville comics versus the TV pilot.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
because I think an Anime Club cartoon would be really good,
especially if the Venture Bros animation studio is behind it.
I mean, they're not making any more of that show, so they may as well make something else that's good.
They also do extremely funny.
Yeah,
and good,
Titmouse also does. They do a lot of Adult Swim stuff. So they've done Metalocalypse. I think they also did like 12-ounce mouse and all that assorted.
I'm happy they're continuing to get work. I remember they got fucked over a lot in the 2010s.
Yeah. No, I mean, great. Out of all the things that Casey Green has done, Anime Club is definitely high up on things that should get an adaptation.
It's the most adaptable, right? Like it's the most easily turned into an actual cartoon with plot.
Like the pilot is just the original Mort brings porn to a library episode, right? Like that's what you do.
Yes, 100%.
You can pivot after that, but you have to just adapt the Mort brings porn to the library.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's hentai and it's art.
It's
you
art.
Uncultured swine. The princess took all those horses.
The thing is, Anime Club is still really funny.
It's super funny. Casey Green has a mastery over comic timing.
Yeah, the comedic timing in Anime Club is so good.
I really hope it's a backdoor for them to just be like, by the way, we're adapting basically everything Casey Green has ever made in cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that'd be great.
The world is not prepared for the He Is a Good Boy cartoon.
But they could be.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's talk about Jeff's revenge.
Man, Jeff, you really do know how to fuck this up, don't you?
First, let's talk about the state of play, though. Because that state of play was really fucking good.
I actually have not watched any of the trailers from State of Play, but by all accounts, it was quite good.
Yeah.
I was busy with family.
Let's go down the list here. We saw the new James Bond prequel game from IO Interactive.
Sure.
It's just a generic Bond. He doesn't seem to be based on any one person, at least not an actor that's played Bond.
He's not handsome enough.
Kind of just looks like Nathan Drake.
He just kind of looks like a guy, yeah.
I get that the thing is that it's supposed to be like, it's Bond before he got to be like it's young Bond, but here's the thing, and like, I'm sure the game will be good or whatever. But fuck that. I need a Bond who's like at least 45.
And like sexy. This Bond is he just kind of looks like a guy.
Yeah.
Right?
There's nothing like suave and classy about like a 27-year-old James Bond.
He looks like he could play Jason Bourne in a Jason Bourne video game, right?
He needs a bit of Italian leather on him.
Yes, he needs to be handsome. Like
I'm gonna make a controversial statement.
Okay.
I think I'm ready to cast the next James Bond, and his name is Walton Goggins.
I love the idea of a James Bond from fucking Birmingham, Alabama. I think that's hilarious.
That would be Jim Bond.
Yeah, that sounds shit. That sounds dope as shit.
And it'd be like,
Roll
now
Tide.
I may just be a simple country time secret agent.
That sounds great.
The world is not ready for a James Bond that says y'all.
I am,
but the world is not.
Cowards.
We need to seal that away until we're ready.
But no, I mean, it'll probably be good.
I mean, this is the studio you get to make a James Bond game, right? You get the Hitman guys to make James Bond.
Hitman guys to make a James Bond game. It makes total sense. Yeah. Absolutely. That's easy money. That's an easy way for them to keep making their like sicko games as a service Hitman game that's been going on forever. You know, good for them.
Mm-hmm. We saw Pragmata finally.
I have not watched that trail. Does it actually show gameplay?
Yes.
What is it?
Believe it or not, they did not cancel Pragmata secretly like they do with all their other shit that disappears for 5 years.
That's so cool. What is it?
It's a Dead Space.
Okay,
it's an over-the-shoulder third person. You got to dodge. Your little sidekick girl has powers.
Sure.
Looks vaguely. It doesn't look like a horror game, but it looks like it has horror elements to it.
Okay, that's perfectly fine by me. I'll fucking play the shit out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Capcom RE Engine game that looks kind of like Resident Evil. It'll play good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Don't worry about
it. We saw Romeo is a Dead Man from Grasshopper Manufacturers.
Oh, good.
The trailer for this is great.
We were watching that being like, what is this? What is this gonna go to? And then I saw gameplay and went, oh, Suda.
He don't miss.
He don't miss.
he made what I would describe as sort of a giallo Kamen Rider third-person action game.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
It looks very appropriately, it looks very like Killer is Dead in terms of like its perspective and like kind of the graphical stylings a little bit. Not as cel-shaded, obviously, but like very similar presentation. But also it's still a pseudo game, so like your preview trailer for it is this insane like rotoscoped Dr. Katz ass 3D animation. I was really hoping the entire game looked
yeah.
honestly. But I'm really excited about that. That shit seems cool.
Yeah. Let me else. I'm saving the biggest one for last, obviously. We saw Sea of Remnants, which
that's a puppet game, right?
It's a puppet pirate, appears to be a turn-based RPG.
It has the aesthetics of a RPG, but it is in fact, I think, a Nexon or NetEase backed new studio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's technically a Chinese developed game. I didn't check the developer though.
The studio, Joker Studio, has described it as an ocean adventure RPG / simulation / survival building / turn-based strategy game.
So it's a puppet. So it looks like puppets. Are we talking Thunderbolt Fantasy or are we talking Muppets?
It's a little Coraline.
Like wooden puppets, like Pinocchio style.
Okay.
There was gameplay, but it was the vague kind of gameplay that doesn't give you a good idea of how what the actual core mechanics are. But I saw numbers and I was intrigued.
Sure.
I had the same reaction when we saw Expedition 33. We're like, oh, is it just gonna be another action adventure game? Oh my god, that's a turn order.
Sure, yeah, it's the same thing of like making you sit up and go, "Oh, word." Yeah.
We saw Silent Hill F.
I continue to be shocked that this is a real video game.
I know, right?
Right? Like,
spoilers for later in the show, I can't believe we're getting a good-looking Silent Hill and a Resident Evil within like the same 6 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I just kind of expected, like, every time, because like I when they first announced F, there was no footage or anything, and everyone like, oh, it's Ryukishi 07. So I thought it was going to be like a weird kind of visual novel, weird kind of spin-off-y thing. Like, not like a full, like, I didn't think it was really going to be like a visual novel, but I didn't think it was just going to be a full Silent Hill.
Like a Silent Hill.
Yeah, like, I don't know what my brain thought it was going to be. I just knew that, like, there's no way they're going to let Ryukishi 07 write, like, a real Silent Hill game, right?
Yeah.
Like, with, like, character models and shit running around, like, interacting with, like, a spooky world. Like, there's no way, right?
Right.
But I guess they did?
I'm just going to announce this now. Look forward to the Silent Hill full LP, because that's the only damn way I'm playing this game, and I really want to play it.
Ben will be watching me play it and going, the whole time.
I want to experience this game, but I do not want to do it alone.
That's fair. You will have to at least, like, I will play it for all of us. I'll take that bullet, because it's the only way you'll make me pay for an $80 video game. I will play it for all of us.
Okay.
Yay.
That being said, you will have to turn off the lights in your room, Ben.
Well, how will you prove that I didn't?
It's going to be an honor system, and
you're
not turning off your lights
webcam,
is
fucker.
dishonorable, Ben. True Klingon warriors turn off the lights in their room before they play Silent Hill. All right,
fine.
I hit him with the Worf impression, and he has to do it.
You're a terrible person.
I'm a great person.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yay!
This golden witch has no honor.
Very cool of them to be like, hey, we're remastering it, we're rebalancing certain things, and then you can just play the original if you want.
Yeah, that's cool.
The only thing I don't like about it is apparently, so the new translation has new content in it, apparently. I don't know, they haven't been clear to what degree. If you play the classic version, you're using the classic translation, and and as far as I can tell, it appears that you're not getting the new content included in that.
Interesting.
And like you cannot delineate those. Like it's one or
interesting. That still seems kind of that'd be like if the RE4 remake just came with classic RE4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also I would love to see the new stuff and not have to have like the SNES 9X fucking 2X filter on all the shit, making all the pixel art look bad.
They've confirmed it will have full voice acting, and to answer your question, yes, the voice actors from FF7 Remake are coming back to do Cloud and Aerith.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that and all. And also, they're putting Ben Starr in this one too.
Yeah, Ben Starr's gonna be in this one.
Ben Starr knows where Yoshi P buried the bodies. I have to think that. I think
it's either that or he and Yoshi P have he's always half naked in Yoshi P's bed, looking out the villa.
It's a Kojima and Norman Reedus type relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
He's always calling Ben Starr in to have him naked scanned for some mocap stuff that he never actually uses in any video games.
I can't wait to play this game and then just point at the screen whenever we hear Alphino's voice actor in it.
You'd be like, my little boy! My little shithead son! Yay!
It's like, wait a minute. These are just the Scions!
Wait a second! I'm hoping we'll get a Tactics Ogre remaster at some point then, too. I think that'd be cool. I'd really like to play that game. Big, local... What is it? Love a Tactics Ogre game? Love to play one someday?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And worth repeating again, they're running out of games for it to not be Chrono Trigger.
I could believe us, because I could believe us getting an actual Tactics Ogre remake of some kind. Because Yoshi P loves it.
Yes, he does.
And B, Matsuno still seems to be interested in doing things and playing around with his former games, even though it's been 30 years since some of them came out. He's like, yeah, this shit owned when I wrote it. It's still pretty good, I think.
He's very cool.
Did you see the tweet where he's like, yeah, I've seen the edit of my dialogue boxes?
Yeah.
It's so funny, because he's like, and obviously, it's not in the script. I didn't write it. But also, I totally would have wrote it, so it's really funny.
He says it's just cool.
Yeah,
and the whole state, I love the statement he put out. Where he's just he's like, yes, my game about politics is political. Yes, imagine that.
Yeah,
he's
putting a statement. It's I think it's great this game's coming out again now because the exact things I was talking about when I wrote this game are really relevant right now.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's.
How did the guy who wrote just Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 12, two of the best ones, how did he write the worst written Alliance Raid series? I need to know. What? How? Why? I don't know. It's fine.
Broken. A fixed clock is wrong twice a day.
I guess so. Sometimes he do miss.
Yeah. We saw 30 seconds of Ghost of Yotei. It was just hey, we're still making it. We'll be back later.
We'll see you later.
I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be a game that feels and plays a lot like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. I don't see them switching that one up too much.
And I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That game is good.
I would never dare say that as a criticism. I love when Elden Ring reuses shit that has been in Dark Souls games since 2010.
Yes.
I think it owns.
I love Yakuza.
I gotta know though, because all open world games is Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah.
And Horizon 2 very famously just stole the glider from Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna give the Yotei chick a weird glider?
No, they'll give her the build mechanics.
That'd be hilarious.
That would
kick ass. That
She's
would
gonna
turn it into Game of the Year. Shit.
She's gonna have you know how Tsushima had the tar bombs?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna have goo bombs that she can throw at objects and they'll fuse together.
Yeah, okay. I
think you should have one of these historical Japanese games dealing with like how relatively brittle katana are because of like the shitty iron and all that.
Sure.
By just have it be like you can repair a broken katana after it snaps in battle by just gluing something else to that and using that as a weapon.
Yeah.
You take the broken katana blade and you stick it on your naginata, and then you have long naginata.
Exactly.
If you break enough katanas, you can forge them into an armor made of broken swords.
Yeah, and then no one will want to attack you.
Yeah.
Because you're covered in swords.
You're just covered in spikes. That sounds great.
Yeah, you'll be able to do that Dark Souls thing where you just roll at enemies and they take bleed damage when you make contact.
That sounds awesome.
We got a sequel to Bloodstained.
I am so fucking excited for Bloodstained to get a sequel, because I really liked Bloodstained. Like, I loved Bloodstained. I played that game a lot, and it just scratched. And, I need to play more like Metroidvanias, because Bloodstained scratched that itch so good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't make the time for them. But I should.
Yeah.
You know, like those games are good.
That Prince of Persia game that came out was pretty good Metroidvania.
Yeah.
They announced PlayStation announced a fight stick that looks terrible.
It looks like. Look, I said this on our stream of the thing, or while we were talking about the thing, I forget. The only way a fight stick is allowed to look is like a complete box, and you have the horrible hand-assembled thing, and on it is a picture of Bridget that says in the "you wouldn't download a car" font, "you wouldn't Potemkin Buster a trans girl." That's the only kind of fight stick you're allowed to have.
Exactly.
This thing does look like shit, yeah.
Or the counterpart one, which is Potemkin, that says, "I would absolutely Potemkin Buster a trans girl."
Or it's a fight stick that's made out of a small cooler.
Yeah. You have to have your gimmick fight sticks that like look like the Buster Sword and stuff like that. Totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
it's not allowed to look like a PS5 though. It's too professional.
It's way too sleek. There's no universe. Like, if you show up to fucking Evo with that thing, they immediately put you on a 2-Rob list, okay?
They'll laugh at you. And you will not be allowed to play Dragon Ball FighterZ.
You're legally not allowed to escape pools if you pull up using the fucking little white PlayStation thing.
It's just like, it's the equivalent. If you show up to Evo with that fight stick, it's the equivalent of that asshole that we all went to high school with who wore a bow tie to school every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of guy. Like, oh, who do you think you're trying to impress? Go get your fucking trans girl, Bridget, fight stick out of your closet, bitch. I know you've got one.
I thought about it. There's exactly one place that it would be appropriate to use it, because it would be the funniest place to use it, which is in the bathroom melted blood tournament.
Yes!
Because, and this is the most important part, it is the exact same color as the toilet.
Hold on, I need to connect it from your laptop from 2006. I need to use the splitter because your laptop doesn't have a USB-C port.
Yeah, totally.
Plugging the PS5 of Fight Stick into a 2006 laptop and just seeing it immediately catch fire.
The stick, not the laptop.
Yeah.
The laptop is running melty blood. It's like don't worry.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of giving a Victorian child a Dorito.
Yeah.
But you can use this terrible fight stick for the real biggest announcement from Sony. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick.
This fuck, I'm gonna have to play fighting games.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get good at fighting games, dude.
I have appreciated that the community has rallied around at making Marvel, Arcsys, and Capcom edits of like panels of NTR manga.
My favorite is the one that Sonic Fox posted. It's just the Wojaks of the Wojak girl being like,
"Are you really sure?"
Yes. Yeah, and it's just the sad Wojak sitting in the cuck chair. Yes.
Yes.
Oh. So apparently there's some like big fighting game people that like obviously knew this game was in production, like, and were like, "I'm so excited I get to talk about it now."
Right.
Did you see Maximilian Dude's reaction to this?
No.
The man turned into the fucking Tasmanian devil with just the amount of incomprehensible gibberish he was letting out in every second of every frame of this game. Just
I'm like picturing it vividly. Like I can just hear it in my head, and I know it's funny.
Remember his reveal, like his freak out for Cloud and Smash, and like the FF remake trailer.
Yeah, totally.
It was that to like an nth degree.
All this being said, it would be a really bad time to, I don't know, for example, announce a kind of lame-looking Invincible tag fighter.
I know, right?
It would be maybe the worst time ever to announce that game off the back of seeing Marvel
sorry,
Tokon.
Jeff.
The thing is, I saw that trailer and I had a depressing thought for the Invincible game, which is getting a lot of Power Rangers Fight for the Grid energy out of this one.
That's so mean.
It wouldn't have turned any heads any other year.
No.
They picked the worst possible
year.
You're looking at...
2XKO is out here chewing on the barrel of a gun in response to this, and you think you're Invincible Tag Fighter.
Yeah.
2XKO has announced 7 characters in its long production. This trailer, by default, has announced 8.
Oh, no.
And good God, because it's Arcsys, every fucking
Everybody
design.
looks great. Yes,
they look
banger
amazing.
after banger. Yeah, of course.
They've done
Hunter Nen Impact still isn't out for another 5 weeks. It might be too late to cancel it.
I'm loving that we're getting a fighting game with Miss Marvel and with the Robbie Ray as Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love that Star-Lord uses English. Like, he speaks English sometimes. That's really, really good. Doom looks fucking amazing. Holy shit. Oh my God.
It's just banger after banger.
Storm's design is like already iconic. God, I'm gonna have to play fighting games now. I have no choice.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get good. I'm sorry, dude. You have no choice.
This is the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I was like, oh, what's Arcsys doing? What are they doing?
The fucking like Gundam looking Iron Man design is
it's so good.
It's so inspired. It's so good. Yeah.
Like MVC did the thing where like their cut-ins were like comic pages, like, you know, page ripping and torn like that. This game is doing fucking like sketch pages, like those big ass like comic book like design pages with the light blue borders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good looking.
It pisses me off. It looks so good. Yeah.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, I know, because it's gonna cost $80.
I know, but look at him.
I'm sorry, Ben. Oh God!
They showed one of the shots, and you could see J. Jonah Jameson like watching through the window and leering at the heroes fighting.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. What else?
Okay.
What else?
Let's move on to the actual Jeff show.
It was bad. All we need to talk about is the 2 at the end.
Yeah, that's there was like literally.
Was there anything
He wasted our time for about 115 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had 2 things at the end, which were pretty good.
The Scott Pilgrim game looks good.
That
looks fun.
That'll
be fun.
I'm happy about that. I'm happy to see that P. Robertson's still getting work to make the exact same kind of shit P. Robertson always makes.
Mm-hmm.
Never change, King.
To stay exactly the same forever. Good for you.
We saw a little bit more gameplay of Mina the Hollower, which looks good, but we already knew that game existed, so that's not that big of a deal.
Nothing
that
new.
That game's like out. Oh no, that's not out. It's out at the end of.
It's out on Halloween.
That's
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense.
There was Felt That Boxing, which looked phenomenal.
That Boxing looks really good, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's funny. I think Muppet Punch-Out is probably the most perfect combination of genres ever.
Yeah.
Right? Because like Punch-Out games are all about like big, goofy, overdone character designs, and you've got to like fight them in kind of a first-person mode.
Yeah.
Which suits Muppet esque designs perfectly.
Flopping, yeah.
Flopping and being goofy. Yeah, perfect.
See, what I'm most interested about is the fact that they specified, like, this is our proof of concept for the thing we made, which is a system of Unreal Engine 5 tools to perfectly emulate the look of Muppets. Because it means that we're one step conceptually closer to getting Muppet LA Noire.
Yeah.
Oh. Wouldn't that just be the first movie?
Yes.
Wasn't the first Muppet movie just like then with like detective story?
Kinda.
But I haven't seen that, and I want a video game version of that where it can like run people over in a car.
Yeah, exactly. I want that. I want Miss Piggy as a noir dame. You know, she's perfect.
Trying to discern the facial expressions of a Muppet.
Yeah,
sounds like the ultimate challenge.
That sounds so good.
Because the thing that we have to see. And this is like, I know this is technically a Sesame Street example and all like Muppets. The thing I want to see for that is the animation where you can tell that someone's hand inside the puppet's mouth is making it scrunch up like they just ate a sour lemon.
Oh, like the Kermit
face
scrunch?
that Kermit makes?
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
I need to see one of these Unreal Muppets doing the Kermit.
Yeah, totally.
We also saw what appears to be a Wu-Tang Clan character action game.
I don't know. I was really excited for it to just be another Def Jam fighter, but sure. Okay.
This also looks interesting.
Sure. But
I'm
anyways,
sure this PR stunt for a wealthy, no longer relevant musician will be like a real video game that people will like, and not just a complete waste of everybody's time. Someone paid Jeff several $100,000 for that trailer to go up, and that's about as real as the game will ever be.
That's correct. But none of that shit matters because what's the name for Project Century now?
Stranger Than Heaven.
Stranger Than Heaven.
Great name, by the
way. Great name. I liked Project Century a lot, but Stranger Than Heaven is really good. It looks to be a time travel.
It looked so looking. I was watching the trailers again, and there's a part where the main dude just full on tanks a Molotov cocktail.
So he might be immortal.
I'm thinking he's like he's a Bacano immortal type.
That would be sick.
That would be good, because I was gonna say, like, I feel like time travel might, like, I had the same initial thought, but I realized it could just be one of those things like, well, Yakuza's over the course of a person's life, right?
Sure.
You could believably be like 20 in 1907 and then be 60 in 1947 and just be like a really good-looking 60-year-old.
Sure, totally possible.
Maybe,
but I feel like if they're gonna call it Project Century, they want to do a century.
100 years.
You know.
And there's that thing at the very end of the trailer where he says like he isn't quite sure what he is either.
Yeah,
or however that line is.
Blue eyes.
Yeah, he's got big bright blue eyes, so obviously something's kind of weird about him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think calling it Stranger Than Heaven.
Yeah.
Kind of implies some level of like supernatural or spiritual
kind
thing.
Of weirdness going on. Yeah, that's true.
Imagine we get the first cutscene of the game and it's just God talking to one of his angels like, listen, there's gonna be 2 world wars. I need you to stop them. You're my bravest soldier. Get down there.
And he just fucks it up from like toe to tip. Yeah.
Just like, what do you mean? What do you mean these started in Europe? How did you want me to get there? You dropped me to Japan. Fuck, man.
I mean, it would also make sense because like Yakuza and Judgment, like they're clearly distincting this from being a Yakuza game, right? This is not Like a Dragon. It's not Judgment. It's not set in that time period. So like, how do you make a game that with the Like a Dragon mindset, but just not make it a Like a Dragon game? Is you got to add some kind of supernatural element to it,
right? I buy that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really interested, though. I mean, that trailer also looked really good.
Yeah, it did.
It's just very colorful. Compared to the Taisho era trailer, it's like so colorful and like lively. I really just love the whole aesthetic of whatever they're doing with this game. It looks awesome. I'm so excited for it. Yes.
And then in the home stretch,
the last possible moment,
Jeff's
in the funniest joke ever, Because earlier in the show, the fucking director of Resident Evil, I think that's what he does. He was just like, yes, we have news about the new Resident Evil game. But it will be, we don't have it yet, but it's in the blink of an eye. So I'm like, oh, so it's going to be at the Xbox show. No. It's at the end of this show. Very funny. Great joke.
You've also got to add, they had the actress, the mocap lady for Alcina Dimitrescu come out as well.
Yeah,
and vamp and talk about the future of Resident Evil.
Yeah, and then not do anything with it. You're like, really? Yeah. Are you going to do this to me now? Wrong. We're doing it now. End of this show.
Resident Evil Reninquium. Featuring the daughter of a character from Resident Evil Outbreak.
Very funny.
Very Gundam G-Quooks energy to go
totally.
Like... y'all care about this character from Resident Evil Outbreak, right? As much as we do, enough to make
her a main character,
make her daughter the main character of the next mainline game.
It's very G-Quooks because it's also like, so because like the whole hook of G-Quooks is that it's like an alternate history, or it's like an AU sequel to like the original like plot of Gundam, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
In that way, Resident Evil 9 is also that, because it's the one thing everybody has wanted for an absurdly long time, which is, we're going back to Raccoon City. Yeah. Right?
The bombed out ruins of Raccoon City.
Which is fucking great. Like, what a great, because for like the trailer is so like, it starts out, you're like, oh, this is a horror game, but like, I thought it was like giving Silent Hill vibes for a little. I'm like, are they going to make a good Silent Hill game again? Like, what is this? And then there's that wonderful shot of the police station, and where you can see the
chills.
You can see the clock tower in the background, and then they do the pull-in shot where it shows the front door, and you can see that it clearly says like RPD.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Great fucking trailer. Wonderful setup. I'm so excited. There's a fucking...
Did I lose you?
There's a fucking nuclear crater in the heart of Raccoon City. I love it. Looks great. 10 out of 10.
I can't wait for the trailer where we get to see Leon get the call that yet another blonde girl needs help, and she just so happens to be in the ruins of Raccoon City.
He's just gonna be like, I'll just kill myself. I'm not.
It's a really compelling fantasy to me, if only because, like, can you imagine what it would be like if we were still like in 2025 trying to live out, like, you know, we live in a normal America, everything's really normal in our America, but also like Chicago 20 years ago was turned into a nuclear exclusion zone that you can't go to anymore because of the literal biohazard.
Because of and it's like a huge American city,
yeah,
and they had to drop a nuke on it.
We're having like all of our modern problems with, while also having to acknowledge in the background, and Chicago, which is still a biohazard infested nuclear exclusion zone, by the way.
Just jot that one fucking down.
Yeah,
right?
just as a reminder.
Just people running for president on the things of, we need to nuke Chicago again to be sure.
We have to double tap. That was the problem. It looks great. It looks really great. I'm really excited.
I'm so fucking pumped.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's Resident Evil 9. It's gonna be out in February.
They're insane. They are just like, yep. It took us a while, but here it is, and it's out just around the corner. That rules. That's so smart.
This is how game announcements used to be. Hey, here's our game. It's out in 6 months.
It's out in 6 months. Thank God. It took us a while, but we're here.
And it's strange because I have to give them credit for that while also going, this is the same company that showed Pragmata like 5 years earlier.
Right?
And I feel like part of this is, like, again, you used to have the old hype cycle where, like, you know, maybe it's okay to show off something a little too early. But also, like, I guess realistically, part of the thing is, too, it's like, it doesn't really matter when they announce RE9. RE9 is going to sell. It's RE9.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
But I guess for Pragmata, you have to be a little more like, maybe we need to spend some time drumming up the hype cycle and then accidentally give ourselves way too much time to drum up the hype cycle.
Right, totally, yeah.
Now the question, we didn't see any gameplay of it, obviously. Now the question is, because we have seen Grace's face, do you think it'll be first person or third person?
Third person. I'm putting money on third person. First person seems to exclusively belong to Ethan. Right?
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Because even the DLC for RE8 was third person.
Yeah, the Rosemary DLC was third person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is likely going to be third person, just because it's what the Ethan thing was definitely a choice they made for the more experimental thing of like 7 and then kept in 8.
Yeah,
but it also feels like they realize, especially with like the success of RE2 and stuff, that it's not like copying Outlast in that specific way.
Yeah,
you know, of going for the it's scarier because you're in first person.
Yeah,
is not like a necessary part of the formula.
No,
I do think they should not have done it for 8. It worked in 9 and 7 because 7 was isolated to the manor.
Yeah.
But when you get into the big open village of 8, like it didn't work.
I think it was okay for 8 only because I think it's a really funny gimmick to have the first person stuff just be connected to one character. Like, I think that's kind of funny, you know?
Imagine if you were the only person in existence who saw in first person view, and everyone else just sort of had like a background awareness of like 6 inches behind their head.
Yeah, I love that. That's really funny to me. I don't know why. It's very much, it speaks to like how unlucky Ethan Winters was his entire life.
Yeah.
Right? Like he does not have full 360 vision like everybody else.
Wait, this is just a symptom of what happens when you get turned into goo. Is you
Yes.
the first person.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He got gooed, and now he can only see things in first-person mode. Everybody
Yes, because
else doesn't have
it
that
severed
problem.
his connection to the divine.
That's
and
what I'm
now
saying.
He is
There you
only a machine animated by neurotransmitters.
go.
He's no longer a complete human.
Yep. So I think it's fine. Plus, like, RE8 still has one of the scarier things in any Resident Evil.
Oh my god,
baby.
yeah.
Yeah, with the baby.
The thing that keeps me from replaying 8.
Yeah, it would not... I don't think it would have been as effective in third person, so it's okay.
What they could have done was shift back to first person to be like, oh, this is the scary part.
That's a good idea. That would have been fun. Yeah. But either way.
Yeah, either way. I think.
What if you were like infected by mold or whatever,
Sure.
and you knew you were having an episode because the camera view switched?
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, Grace is clearly infected with something.
Yeah.
Because we saw her, when we see her in the city, she's chained up, she's upside down, and she's got like a big wound on her chest.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
They did put something in her. Again, like Ashley.
They're doing Resident Evil 4 again, but that's okay, because we like Resident Evil 4.
She was forced to eat mold when she was 6.
Just Leon showing up like, yeah, sorry, Mr. Kennedy, I've also been infected with something. And he's like, of course you have been. Of course.
He just immediately turns around like, I gotta go.
He's like, he just turns around like, this is why I only mess with brunettes, and just leaves.
Yeah.
Claire better be in this game. I mean, we're going back to Raccoon City.
God, it's been so long since we've seen her, please.
I know at least one person who would like become a howling rabid dog to see Claire Redfield again.
Yeah, exactly.
I almost called her Claire Stanfield. Different Claire.
Yeah, different Claire. Very wildly different Claire.
Hilarious if that one showed up in Resident Evil, though. That would be an extremely solved problem very, very fast.
There's one Redfield that should not show up in this game, and that's Chris. He has had his time. He's done.
No more Chris.
No more Chris.
I'm so sick of seeing that football-faced motherfucker.
You dropped the ball so hard in 8, Chris. I do not want to see you again.
Please, God, free me.
It's going to be really embarrassing when you see Chris again. You're going to have to tell him that you said all this. He's going to be like, so why'd you say all that stuff about me on your podcast? He's going to punch your head clean off your neck with a single strike.
Chris is going to be the new Mr. X. He's just that big, and he's just stomping around Raccoon City.
I think it would be funny if they brought Chris back for 9, and he just looked completely different again.
Again, he's really skinny.
Yeah, he's skinny again, but he doesn't look like the way he looks in 7.
Yeah.
Like, completely different guy. They just cannot decide on who's playing Chris Redfield. I think that's really funny.
They need to bring back Croco Grandpa.
What's he been doing?
I agree.
What's his name? Joe?
Joe Baker.
Joe Baker.
They need to give him back his suit. They need to give him back his power glove and let him punch shit. I miss him.
Joe should be the hunk of the mercenaries mode of RE9.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get Hunk,
get
but you do get Joe again.
You just get your glove, but you can suplex literally anything.
I think that sounds sick.
I need to see Joe have a fight with Mr. X.
Joe's like, well, these are just regular zombies, and he just crushes their head.
punches their heads clean off. It's like,
oh hell, well, how'd I get here? I don't remember where my house is. I'm gonna have to fight
God
my
damn
way
it, I
there.
want to go home. This sucks.
I'm too
You know
far
what I mean?
north for this.
Yeah, it's too
Just
cold.
punching zombies in the sternum, just like, tell me where my house is.
I still laugh at our bit we had when we were talking about Joe in other Resident Evil games. We're like putting him in 5 and the optics of him being in 5.
Yeah.
Joe in 5 is that one Dracula flow bit where he's like, you're gonna look like a Resident Evil 5 background character when I'm done with you.
Oh god.
This is not about race. This is about you trying to eat me.
Oh my god.
Oh god,
Okay.
RE9, and then we saw Xbox, and then I fell asleep.
Xbox was fine. Xbox
Remember?
was fine.
So Summer Game Fest had like 7 minutes of like pure unbridled joy.
Right.
What if the show just had no pure unbridled
No
joy?
joy.
This one had like
whatsoever.
30 seconds. I mean, okay, so it did have what's it? Chromatic. What's it called? I'm looking for it now.
I don't even
There
remember.
was that that cutesy indie game that I immediately wishlisted because it looks like it was made in the lab for me called At Fate's End.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a side scroller but is also like a visual novel, and it's about like fighting your family in cool duels, and also you get to select dialogue options while
During
you're
the
fighting.
duel.
During the duel. And it all looks terribly anime and shoujo, and I was just like, well, putting that one on the wish list immediately. Thank you. So
I think I missed this when it was on. Like I think I was up doing something. I just went to the Steam page and saw like the design for what appears to be the main character. It's like a sprite animation. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
yeah, put that one. Yeah, put that one on your. Yeah. Her
Clockwork
sister
Revolution.
looks fucking amazing. You'll see.
Yeah. Clockwork Revolution is what I was thinking of.
That game looks good.
That game looks
cool.
really, really cool. That was like a surprising, like really intriguing concept. Like they just kept dropping plot ideas on us.
This is I needed to look up the team that made it. I was terrified it was going to be a Ken Levine joint. Thank God it's not. This is Brian Fargo, the guy who founded Interplay. This is his this is the studio he makes now.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool.
I mean, I loved Earthworm Jim back in the day, so you know.
And this one doesn't have Doug Tennapel working.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, in Exile. I was like, there was a bit there where I was like, I don't know, this trailer seems really compelling, but I also have this like niggling worry at the back of my head, just like I'm getting huge Outer Worlds vibes.
Yeah.
That's what I was afraid it was going to be, but then they actually showed
it feels
like
one of those things like there's so much promise and it's going to end up being a wet fart game. But also at least this is a studio that has a track record of making like solid 7 to 8 RPGs at least.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, it'll probably be okay.
And this game just like kept showing off like mechanics that look really in depth and fun.
Yeah, like I mean they've made like they did the Wasteland stuff. They did like the Wasteland sequel. They did Wasteland 3. They did those Bard's Tale games that everybody seems to like.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so like I'm pretty excited for this one. It just seems I was just watching it and all I could think the whole time was that this was a Blades in the Dark video game.
Yeah.
Right?
I was
It
getting
just
that
needs
energy.
a permanent night mode.
Yeah, it just needs I wish it had a night mode, right? Because then it's just a Blades in the Dark game. But it was another one of those trailers, much like the Expedition 33 one, where I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And then they show like dialogue choices and create a character and all that stuff, and I'm like sitting up very slowly, like okay, what's up?
The creative character being someone giving their police report on who robbed them is really fun.
It's cute. So I am granted, the only problem is that they said it will be out in due time, which was cute. But also, I'll see you in 2 years, I guess. That game seems very ambitious.
2028. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I can't help but notice that like things like Fable and stuff that was supposed to technically come out, I think, last year, just weren't even at the show.
One of the most brutal like things that I saw Jason Schreier say was that Obsidian has put out 5 games in the time it's taken Fable and Eternal Dark to not come out.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real, and that seems like it's a thing where Obsidian just, like, even before the acquisition, just knew how to put out some fucking video games.
Yeah, they just know how to make fucking video games.
It seems like maybe the long term, and, you know, correct me if it seems like it might be like a part of a structural issue over at the old Microsoft, right? Seems kind of like they just don't know how to get a studio to put out a product.
Oh, really?
Really? What?
That's crazy.
What makes you say that?
It seems like something happened, and Microsoft can no longer make its studios produce things to sell for money.
That's really weird. I don't know.
Which is a problem when your business model involves studios making and selling things for money.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just a little thing I observed.
So little thing.
You're saying that in order to make money, you need to sell a product?
Yeah, and like you have people, right? And the people, the peons who work for you, who you extract value from.
Yeah.
You need them to be able to, in a reasonable amount of time, make a product which you can then sell.
What? I'm getting word, Sara, that you are now the valedictorian of the graduating class of 2025 at the business school?
Oh, great. Another useless degree. Thanks.
Yay!
They've never heard any revolutionary ideas like this before.
Okay, are they going to pay me for that?
No.
No.
Yeah, I figures.
No, not at all. Although, speaking of Obsidian, that game looks bad.
Grounded 2?
No, the other one.
Outer Worlds 2. Yeah.
The game that was so bad that it apparently immediately deleted itself from Ben's memory. That's really impressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. It's cute that they think that they are gonna sell any copies of this game at MSRP. Period.
No.
At $80. No.
It's
like I posted. It's like I posted like, come enjoy my anti-capitalist 3D or open world RPG game. Yes, Obsidian. $80. No Obsidian.
No Obsidian. Absolutely not. And it's still just like the writing is so bad in that trailer.
It's so on the nose. It
is so baby's first critique of capitalism. It feels like it was written by a child, right?
And I gotta stress that first game, identical. It is like the most it is one of the most like aggressively neoliberal games I have ever played. Not in terms of like specific political opinions it has, but in terms of that game, the correct option is to look at two sides and not actually consider their respective beefs and to find some sort of compromise that no one can actually be happy with. And somehow it's the right choice.
Yeah, every time.
That's all that game is. And that second one, probably going to be the exact same game.
Yeah.
Also, skip it. I don't know.
Like, skip it. It looks so bad.
I'll get some social credit points by saying that you should boycott buying any Xbox properties while they are targeted BDS list. But realistically, even if they weren't, wouldn't be buying this. It looks like shit.
Yeah,
it looks like shit.
There are no ghosts at the Grand. Looked fun.
Oh, cute.
I'm interested in whatever's going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think the idea of Ghostbusters, but set explicitly, like exclusively in a big old hotel, is a cool idea. That just sounds fun. That just seems fun.
Yeah.
I liked that the trailer, I was, every like about 30 seconds, I was like, I think I get what the twist on this is going to be. And then suddenly it's a completely new game and story kind of out of nowhere without like being random. It's just like, no, I need to stress, you don't understand what the game is about yet.
It's like, oh, okay, so we're revamping the hotel and we're, remodeling it and adding wallpaper and furniture and okay, there's a mystery about the bookstore and that there are ghosts.
And there's like a ghost hunting thing.
And we are working for the ghosts secretly. And the cat is our... What? Okay, I guess I have to get your game.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun. It looks cute.
And then finally, the brightest 30 seconds of the show. The Persona 4 revival is real. It's coming out.
Persona 4, I'm so fucking stupid.
I've seen some I've seen some trailer analysis wizards who have reason to believe that this. I mean, this should be obvious because it's the obvious thing to do. But it will probably be the golden version.
Well, they literally played the golden battle theme in the trailer. Like, they played Time to Make History. So
the other thing that someone noticed is that you get like a very brief shot of outside of the Dojima residence, right? Mm-hmm. In the vanilla game, there's a bicycle outside of it.
Right.
In Golden, there's a moped. And there is in that shot something that is obviously a moped that's covered with tarp.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, okay.
But no, all I had to do was hear the fucking piano.
I know.
That fucking piano.
It is so annoying because I still don't think you need to remake P4. I think P4, the Golden, is perfect the way it is. It is, to me, like, immaculate. Yeah. I love that game, even like warts and all of its writing issues, all of that stuff that makes people talk bad about P4. I know, I get it, I do. Yeah. But I still think Persona 4 is, like, a perfect video game.
Yeah.
And I think Persona 4 the Golden, like, it captures the essence of what Inaba is, like, perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, down to the grime, you know?
I'm going to make a suggestion that they should do since it's a remake. Mm-hmm. And it won't make the game better. In fact, it will make the game probably a lot worse, but I think it would be funny. Which is that now they've established that you have, like, a full 3D motion and an actual camera you can move around. Mm-hmm. They should let you drive the moped around an L.A. Noire-esque open world.
No, I love that idea.
For absolutely no reason. They don't add any content to support this. They just let you do it if you want. I think they should do that.
Yeah, it needs to be like the segways in Rebirth, where you can just barrel through like boxes and pots and stuff.
Physics objects, yeah, totally.
You should be able to just like get into a car crash and like by accidentally driving into a vehicle on your moped and just lose your entire day.
Yeah. No, I love that plan. But yeah, no, I'm just stupid.
You're so right. You're so right. This is a completely unnecessary remake. The Golden is perfect the way it is. The
but
art,
I'm gonna buy it.
The aesthetic of that game being very analog based and having low poly models and pre-rendered backgrounds is the correct decision to make.
Yep.
Day one. Not even. I might even
hesitate.
Get whatever bullshit collector's edition you're gonna throw at me. I might even get that. I
might have to.
I'd consider it. I have a certain degree of it's like. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't have a whole lot of fondness in my heart for Persona 4 in the current day. Just I haven't played it in quite a long time. And, you know, I think there's better RPGs. But also, again, I will buy that collector's edition day one because of the place it holds in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that game, I just played I played the original version of Persona 4 at a very specific time in my life when I was also stuck in a small town against my will. And kind of felt weird and listless and friendless and directionless. And I played Persona 4 and it was like, oh, okay. And it just instantly and forever bore itself into my fucking brain. So yeah, day one, not even a question.
Now
I cried a little like when that fucking trailer played. Because it's just like, oh my god, it's the Persona! I'm so fucking stupid.
I know. No, I can hear the ending theme of Persona 4 and still feel like hollowed.
Go to pieces. Yeah, you just go to pieces. It's fucked up.
It is actually really funny. I forget which show it was. I think it might have been Future Game Show. They had 3 people who were all Persona 4 voice actors doing presentations on that show, and that was, as far as I can tell, completely unrelated to the Persona 4 reveal.
That's so funny. God. So I have a few small like notes about this. One is that they'll probably touch up all the portraits of the game.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna get new portraits. Yeah,
they should not do it for Adachi's because his is perfect already.
His is immaculately perfect.
You will.
If you're going to make his new, you need to make sure that you resist the temptation to make him prettier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
If they revamp the portraits for him, the one thing they need to do is just copy his scowl expression and paste it over whatever this new portrait is.
Yes, totally.
Pixel 100%. By pixel, the exact same expression.
Yes.
The other thing I want to point out is obviously the music is going to be remastered at some point. do you think they'll have a song that's as much of a banger as Disturbing the Peace from P3?
Probably. I mean, they really don't miss with music, is the thing.
They don't.
I mean, Atlas still is always killing it with music, so I trust them. I believe in them. So, yeah, no, I'm just
Persona 4 is getting remade.
I'm so stupid. It's fine.
It's the worst kept secret in video game history, but like, hey, it's real now. It's gonna be real.
It's gonna be real, and I'm gonna play it, and then maybe someday Persona 6 will come out, but probably not. I guess that's metaphor, but you know.
Yeah. The other worst kept secret, this is the one that makes me think about it, is when I was in Boston, I was like having a conversation with my friends there. We were talking about Danganronpa, right? Mm-hmm. And that game, for a while, it was only out in Japan, and it only got like an official English release like a couple of years later, right? And there was a bit after it finally got announced that they're bringing the first game over, that someone who was doing voice acting, he's like, I'm so happy that this is finally announced. I can finally announce I'm playing character in the Danganronpa thing.
Yeah.
And the character they named was a Danganronpa 2 character.
Oops.
And they had not yet announced that they were also doing Danganronpa 2.
That's so funny. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
This trailer does feel like a holy shit, push it out the door because Yuri Lowenthal accidentally leaked the game.
Sure.
Because it was not. I would say it was not necessarily a. I mean, I'm sure they were planning something, but it was. I'm sure they were not planning like. No, okay, just actually put some gameplay in there, just like a little bit of town running around. Like we need something. We need them to know that we have in fact started working on it.
Yeah, the character model is not. It's very. Someone called it Atlas Hire This Man quality.
Yeah. It looks a little stiff. It looked a little stiff.
I do also think it's funny that like immediately after this reveal, like the guy who's currently running things over at Persona Team, who's I don't remember his name because he's not Hoshino, and Hoshino occupies a very specific space of hatred in my heart.
That's correct.
But he was like. And before you ask, yes, we do want to work into making our own Persona games. Just give us some time.
Give us a little time.
We're trying to train our people how to make Persona games so we can make Persona games because Hoshino took everyone with him.
Yeah, that is kind of the problem. Is I think Hoshino took most of Persona Team with him to make Metaphor, which is very funny.
Yeah.
So
they have to cut their teeth on some remakes first. Yeah. It's fine.
That's fine. I'm looking forward to playing Metaphor so I can just kind of play Persona 6 that way.
Yeah. I also, I'm going to say something controversial here. Can't wait to boot this game up on day one, start a new file, and then name him Soji Seta like his name should be.
Yeah. I never liked
I don't know, I like you, Narukami.
Narukami's good, but
it just never felt right to me.
For me, I like the silent protagonist energy of naming a character you.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It's why I also like Morgan Yu in Praise 2017 because I think it's a funny joke.
Yeah,
I will say that out of the 3 quote unquote canon names, I think Yu Narukami is probably the best.
Yeah.
I do not like Ren Amamiya or Makoto Yuki.
Well, Makoto Yuki is so, like... That one is really weird because it came so late.
Yeah.
That, like... Because they only established that one with the fucking Persona 3 movies that they made. That, like, came way after that game came out. And, like, for years... He was Minato because of the manga.
that twerp is Minato Arasato.
Yeah.
Forever. Yes. Like,
that name's good as fuck. It's, like, pulpy.
Same reason why I like Akira Kurosu.
Yeah,
it just sounds good to say.
Yeah, Ren Amamiya doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well.
No.
I can't call him Ren Amamiya because every time I say his name, I'm like, Amamiya, here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
Yeah, no, it's, but especially because, like, the Makoto thing is really weird to me because when they made those movies... Persona 5 was, like, almost done.
Yeah, they were late
They
movies.
already had a Makoto.
Yeah, like, that's really weird to me.
It's very strange to me. Why would you...
I like the establishment of Makoto as a gender-neutral name, though.
I guess, but I mean, I know that we've got Yusuke and Yosuke, and that's already kind of funky, but, like, there's so many names in Japan. You know...
Yeah.
You didn't have to name him the same name as, like, one of your protagonists from P5. It's very strange to me.
Yeah,
very odd decision.
It never felt right to me. Like, I eventually got used to Yu Narukami just because like he kept showing up in things, so like I kept hearing it over and over again.
Sure.
But just in my heart, it's like, no, your name is Soji.
Yeah, I know how it is. I understand, but no matter what,
it's
so we still have to give credit to you/Soji for innovating the style of having like an inexplicable bowl cut in high school as like the signifier for being fashionable.
And somehow looking cool.
He was really trend-setting the Asian bowl, the like 2010s Asian bowl cut.
It's true, like, because eventually that became like every K-pop boy's hairstyle for a while there, right? Like,
it's like just a really, because it's great because it's the specific, like, the bowl cut is the epitome of the lazy haircut because you just use the bowl to shape it, but then you like feather the edges so it looks intentional, and it just seems like a really bizarur choice. So good on him for being such a trendsetter.
He was a trendsetter. You know what?
It's hard to surf cunt in like the rural suburbs.
I guess when you do live in rural Japan and there isn't much in the way of like a good hairdresser like you can get in Tokyo, your option really is like to keep your hair looking nice is to just put the bowl on. Put the bowl on.
Well, he came to town with that haircut.
Maybe he got prepared.
Yeah,
right?
he was setting trends.
Yeah, that's
I love the someone made a post about it. It's like because like keeping with the trend of bonus bosses in these remakes and whatnot. With the popular fan theory that Persona 5 protagonist Joker comes from Inaba.
Yeah.
The idea of this is your bonus boss for P4. It's the 10-year-old down the street.
Yeah.
He's really swagged up for some reason.
Yeah, he seems really cool and he's kicking your ass super hard, dude. Sorry.
He seems, it's like you get the narration text box. He seems like he'd punch Elon Musk in the jaw.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Can't wait to see flip phones in HD. That'll be fun.
God.
2011 game, set in 2011.
I guess because you still have to set the game in 2011, right?
Yeah.
So, we're going back to flip phones, baby.
Just the other week, people were like, yeah, congratulations to Rise Kuchikawa on her 35th birthday. I'm like, no, don't say that to me.
What's your fucking problem? I hate it. I think that they're like our age.
I think it should be illegal to have anime characters age unless it happens in the fiction.
That's correct.
The problem with setting a game in any like specific time frame is that eventually it'll pass that time frame and you'll feel bad.
Yeah. That's correct.
It's the reason why, and not to be like suddenly get very serious, the reason why like I never really understood why I never grew up with all the people who are like, it's weird when an adult like is like obsessed and drawing pictures of like these anime characters who are canonically high schoolers. And at some point you realize it's like, well, like it just makes you remember when you were in high school.
Yeah.
I still remember when I was in high school. I don't know. I think it's fine. Anime characters are allowed to be high schoolers forever. It's not weird.
It's fine. It's not weird. Like, they're not real.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They're
whatever.
They're puppets that we made for our amusement.
They can be. I mean,
Bart Simpson has been 10 for 30 years.
Yeah, they're our age. They're not
This
real.
conversation would make Auber on FGO break up with me, but unfortunately he is wrong on this issue.
Yeah, he is completely wrong about this one. Sorry. So. Oh, God. Okay.
That's it. That's all we got.
Are we done?
There's nothing else worth talking about.
Excellent. Hell yeah. Get us out. Extremely enthusiastic about just like a handful of things. Really looking forward truly to the day we just kind of give up on this farce of like replacing E3, right? Because like it just gets more dire every year.
What I did like about it, one last thing. I like that Silk Song showed up. It did not have a trailer.
No.
Yeah.
They did not give it a specific release date, but the developers have insisted that, guys, it's definitely coming out by holidays this year for sure.
They said it'll launch on our fake handheld.
The funniest thing about Silk Song at this point is that it has shown up, I think, at every single of the big three's directs, like in the background somewhere. Like, we promise it's real, because like obviously Nintendo showed it as like when they were showing off the Switch 2, they showed Silk Song, like in the background as like an icon on Nintendo's fucking handheld that nobody's gonna buy. And I only assume that Sony has probably shown like a little Silk Song icon somewhere, right? Because it's just like, it's really just, at this point, it's a joke. They got to get it out this year, or it's never coming out, right?
My prediction is that Silk Song is going to be the only game to have a 55 on Metacritic that also sold 20 million copies.
Correct.
Yeah. I also can't believe that the Deadpool game actively lost sales by making fun of Silk Song.
I can, because that thing looks like a game nobody has ever wanted ever. And adding on the Silk Song stuff was just like, wow, you now have negative sales. You now owe us money.
They got Neil Patrick Harris to do the weakest Ryan Reynolds impression possible.
Oh, I know, it's so sad.
The moral of the Summer Games Fest story, you should never have another game's name in your mouth unless you want people to come swinging. Because also, like, we didn't even talk about Mr. Manga Hat Weirdo.
No.
No.
Who has since backed down in a very dramatic fashion after insisting in interviews that he would not, in fact, in any circumstance, ever back down.
And then he backed down super hard. Yeah, it rules.
Just, oops, you cost the studio your game.
Oops.
Shut down in a week.
Nobody was gonna play fucking Slipgate 2 anyway.
Oh no, of course not.
Whatever the fuck it's called.
I forget. Isn't he only like the CEO of the studio because he's like the son of like a guy who's like a CEO at fucking like TurboTax or something?
I mean, yes, his dad works is like a CEO at what's that company? The parent company of TurboTax. Fucking you know which one I'm talking about. Anyways. Yes.
Wait, is it H&R Block?
It's not H&R Block. TurboTax parent company. It is Intuit.
Okay.
Yeah, his dad is is either the CEO or he's extremely important inside of Intuit. But yeah, no, that's the only reason that guy has any money, because his daddy is rich, obviously. Yeah, so you know. Well, it's funny. I mean, that game was always gonna bomb. Right?
Yeah, because no one cared.
Because nobody cares. It's a battle royale game with literally just stealing the portals from Portal, like orange and blue, straight up the exact same portals. In 2025, like a battle, like how goes?
That's weird too, because like the first like Splitgate one, it was very naked about saying is like we made Halo Deathmatch, but it has portals in it. And by all accounts, people liked that game for being exactly that.
Sure.
And it's very strange to go, we're making a sequel to Halo Deathmatch with portals. But now it has a battle royale mode and big open maps that don't really give you as much space to use the portals. And also we're selling cosmetic packs for your portals that are 80 United States dollars.
Yeah. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's really bold of them. You know what I mean? So,
feel bad for everyone who works at that studio who's not that guy.
No,
but unfortunately,
and is not going to have a job
in
like a couple of months. So, you know, sorry, dudes.
What a disaster.
Well, we love watching MAGA shitheads lose their jobs, though, so it's okay.
That's the industry now.
Dear Lord, I see what you've done for the Splitgate developers vis-a-vis their CEO and being publicly disgraced, and pray that you also do that for Tripwire, the people who make the Killing Floor games and their insane MAGA culture they have over there.
Please, we're all praying every day for it. Okay, get us out of here.
That'll do it for us. Thank you to DJ Cutman for our background music. You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on all our various social medias. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/thegorge. Again, we're doing a really cool TTRPG that I'm very excited about. We're also doing our takeouts, and those are always fun. Join our Discord, hang out with us, and watch the last couple episodes of Legend of Galactic Heroes with us.
That's right.
We just finished part 3.
Yeah.
Come start.
I wish we had
Legends of the Galactic Heroes at the beginning of part 4 and be more confused than you've ever been in your entire life. I promise it'll be fun.
You'll watch the whole of part 4 and you'll go like, damn, I wonder what the rest of the series is like. And you'll immediately meet like 5 characters who you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And you'll go, uh-oh. All right, what do we got to end this one with?
Fuck Jeff Keighley?
Fuck Jeff Keighley. Man, Jeff, you really tricked us with this last TGA, because it was awesome, right? Like, everybody
TGA was
agrees
great. Yeah.
that the last Game Awards were fucking great. And so I was like, oh, well, TGA was great. Maybe Jeff is finally getting his shit together.
No.
Incorrect. That is wrong. Even though the Microsoft show was kind of a snooze because like it just didn't have a lot of stuff that interested me, right? Like, at least the Microsoft show had the decency to keep being the way the Microsoft show has always been, which is trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer, right?
Yes, the integrity to not interrupt every time.
Yeah, that's the difference between like a show, and then like I assume the Sony show was like that too, where it's just a shit ton of trailers, right? Like,
there's some talking, but not a whole lot.
Not a lot. But that is the difference between like putting together a show that is just, here are all the games we made, please buy them, and a show where the goal is to sell $300,000 slots to put your video game in it, right?
Yeah.
It's just like...
that's the thing that sucks about SGF, and the thing that sucks about like some of the other shows I didn't even bother watching, like fucking Green Games or whatever.
Oh, Green Games is
like,
miserable.
Yeah, where it's like, this is just paid advertising slots.
Yeah,
like, why are you watching this?
Yeah, like, because I don't think you have to pay. I am pretty confident that you don't have to pay to get into the Sony or the Xbox show. If your game looks good enough and you're being published by them, or even if it looks promising enough and it's going to be on their platform, they'll run it in their show, right? Like, you don't pay them anything because obviously they're getting a cut for when it launches on their shop, right? So, yeah, it's very strange to me. That's why SGF is always so fucking bad, you know? So, fuck Jeff and his dork-ass shoes.
Yeah, fuck them shoes.
Fuck them shoes. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.